Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to this one-shot of the Age of Adventure RPG. I am GM Age, the creator of Age of Adventure, and we are playing a Runequest scenario called the Rattling Wind. We're using Quest Portal, and for Discord, we are being hosted by the Furiously... I always have trouble saying this. The Furiously Eclectic People Discord, which I'll put in the notes on YouTube when I upload this. We have 3 players today. Fortunate enough to have Thud returning for his second adventure. We also have Hestava of the Hidden Diagram for her first foray into Age of Adventure. And last but not least, we have Hank, who is joining us for the first time, and I believe also the first role-playing game he has played. So this is either going to encourage him or discourage him. Hopefully encourage. Yeah. So what I will do is I will take everyone to the main page. I'll do a brief introduction of the adventure, and then I'll get each player to introduce themselves. All right, so here we go. So I'll get all the players to drag their characters onto the new scene, which I've loaded here, and I will open up my notes. Hopefully you can see a screen of some birds flying above a landscape. So in this adventure, you are all part of the Adventurers Guild. You've been enlisted to defend a hamlet called Fairfield. A swift and brutal monster is leaving several mangled bodies in its wake. And the question is, can you end this terrible menace, or will it kill more in its wrath? So I'll drag Hank onto the screen. You guys can also resize your screen if you do need to. I think you use the roller on your mouse if you're using a mouse. But let us set up the scenario. Oh, actually, that's the introduction. Let us introduce our characters. So you can tell me as little or as much as you want about your character. Let's start with Thud Grub Eater.
Well, hello everyone. I play an orc barbarian called Thud Grub Eater. I've been on one adventure before, which was the Hollow of the Elf King, where my character got a crown, Elf King's crown, which has sort of regenerative powers only for vegetation. So since my orc considered himself a bit of a cook, not a good one, he has decided to grow veggies on the crown. So you can see him wearing a crown with cherry tomatoes hanging in, radishes, cabbages, anything you like is hanging off his crown. And so he considers himself an adventurer, and it's not easy to anger, but when he is angry, he fights with his axe, not with his mind. That's Thud the Grub Eater. Thank you.
Also, I'll get you while I've got you. Thank you for introducing your character. You've got a toad called Freddy, who I believe you do want to take onto the adventure. If you click on the Freddy tab, do you want to see if you can drag Freddy onto the screen as well? You should be able to drag his picture onto the screen if all is working well. Give that a shot.
I don't have his picture. I can't see his picture.
It's underneath the equipment. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. Right. Yeah. Hey, beautiful, it worked. And I think you can resize him as well by right-clicking, because he's large, so he's twice the size of you, and you're pretty big yourself. All right, also joining Thud on this adventure is Hestava. Do you want to introduce Hestava?
Hestava is... of the Hidden Diagram, she is a seeker of truth. Memory, oath, and oaths are important. Recalling lost lore and exposing falsehoods. Forgiveness is possible, but she will intend to bind promises made by people with dire consequences, and punish those who violate them.
Oh, dark. I like it. Thank you. Last but not least, Hank. Do you want to introduce Hank?
Let me think for a second. I didn't know we had to do this.
You can just say you're a goblin rogue. That's fine.
I'm Hank. I hate everything.
True
My
goblin.
family got killed when I was 6, and I watched my sister get killed. We were living on the street, and yeah, now I'm just coming along for the adventure. I don't fucking know.
That's right. You get paid by the guild. So given that this is your first adventure, at least if you complete it, you're going to make some coin. It's a living. It's not the easiest living, but
I'm here to kill and make money.
Yeah.
I only 2 things I'm good at is just killing, and so that's it. Yeah.
I'll let you know as well, Hank, under your abilities with your skills, you have Dark Seed, which is automatic. You don't have to make any rolls for that. So goblins are the only character in an Age of Adventure that can see in the dark, but it's in grayscale. So remember that. The other thing you've got a special ability called Sneak. So with Sneak, you can instead of attacking straight away, you can say you want to sneak, which is like a flanking move to get behind the target. If you succeed your sneak, then the next round you'll get a bonus dice to hit and 1 extra damage. So keep that in mind. In combat, that can be quite useful. Even though you're spending a round sneaking, the next round you have better chance and extra damage. And you also have an ability called Tinker, where you can do pick locks, set traps. You can also rig up items and repair items. So you've got a few good skills being a rogue. All right, thank you to our heroes. So with Age Adventure, there's firstly some scenario setup, and I'll get Thud, roll a d6, and that's the time of the day you arrive at Fairfield. Start with that. The lower your roll, the earlier in the day. 4, so it's in the afternoon. So in the afternoon, this just helps set the scene. And I'll also get Hestava. You can roll for how long it takes to travel to Fairfield from your current location. 4 is 3 days. 3 days travel. And last but not least, I'll get Hank to roll d6 for the weather. The lower you just roll a d6, the lower you roll, the better the weather. Ooh, 1. Perfect day. Okay, so it's been a sunny day as you've travelled. The weather's been really nice to travel in. It's the afternoon by the time you reach Fairfield, and as part of your adventure, you are given a map of the area. So I'm going to move this into the campaign notes. So if you click on notes, hopefully it's there. Yes, it is. I'll put it.
I'll see it.
Yeah, I'll put it at the top. So you can have a look at this map of the area, which you can click on. So you're traveling to location number 1, which is Fairfield. So at any time you can reference this map, because I will mention some things from it as we're setting things up. And let us have a look here. Let's check if I've got the right screen on. Yep, that's fine. We'll keep that screen there. All right. So, first of all, given that that's the adventure, do you have any questions about what you need to do or the adventure before we arrive at the village? So, actually, one thing I didn't explain, which I'll explain now. In the notes, there's a section called Turn Order, which is like an initiative tracker. Now, because we're playing online and I like every player to have the same amount of opportunity, we use initiative or turn order outside of combat and inside of combat. So I'm going to get everyone to roll 6 dice, and you give me the total in this case. And then when there is combat, we'll re-roll the turn order. So this is just sort of a control mechanism so I can make sure everyone has equal turns. So I'll get you all to roll 6 dice, either by clicking the turn order 6 die shortcut in turn order, or you can use the dice roller, and you can enter the totals in that turn order yourselves.
Wait, so then Our total.
Yeah, so you can see, I can see there that Thud got 14, you got 24, and Scrooge got 19. So go to the turn order in notes and enter that number under result. I can see Thud's put in his. Yep. Oh, you got 24, yeah. All right, beautiful. And then I'll sort that. Oops, wrong direction. Yeah, well done. And you can see that if there's, at the bottom, there's a little note how ties are broken. If there's ties, we record the actual sequence of the dice to help break the ties. But everyone rolled differently, so there's no problem there. All right, so Hank, did you have any questions about the adventure or what you need to do?
We're killing something that's killing people, right?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, pretty much it. You're finding out.
We're killing what's a goblin or like an orc or whatever?
Oh, who knows? Who knows?
Gremlin? Okay.
As long as you stop it, I'll say, you may not necessarily have to kill it once you find out what it is, but as long as you stop it by any means necessary, let's just say that.
Well, Hank kills stuff, so...
Yeah, so that's your first option. I like it. What about Hestava? Any questions about the adventure?
Not at the moment.
Beautiful. And Thud?
Just one. Since we are all from the Adventurers Guild, would we know each other? Like, maybe as an acquaintance?
We're going to say that you've done all the introductions. You've decided, yes, you will work together. So you've done all the screening.
Yep.
And you've travelled together just to get you to, being a one-shot, just to get you to the location. The only thing you need to do is some resource management. Now, given that you've travelled 3 days, you've got 2 options. Each day, you need to consume 1 provision or spend 2 silver pieces to buy a meal. So I'll get you to do your own resource management there under your equipment. Either subtract 1 provision per day or 2 silver per day, or a combination of. Thud, you need to look after yourself, and also Freddy needs 2 provisions a day. So he's a hungry creature. If you don't have enough provisions, you'll have to spend silver.
Yeah, so if we've traveled 3 days, yeah, so he'll be eating 6. I'll be eating 3. I need 9. I only have 6. How much silver is 1 gold?
6 silver, and you can break it down now, but you can't break it down during the adventure. But I'll let you break it down now if you wish.
Okay, yep.
All right, let's just see what everyone's decided to do. I'll have a quick look at the sheets. So Hank, yep, taking off 3 provisions, nice and easy. Hestava, taking off 3 provisions. You guys are great. You're already working out how it works. And last but not least, Thud, you're probably doing your management now.
Yep.
I don't think you've got a... Oh, you've times it all into silver, are you? Getting rid of the... Okay.
Yep. So just
now,
easier to track.
Yeah, the only thing is your coin pouch only holds 60 units, so you won't be able to carry it all in silver unless you want to carry another pouch of 48. So you could, if you want, have 60 silver as on your coin pouch, and in a item slot, you can have the 48 either on Freddy or yourself.
I'll put it on Freddy. So Freddy would have...
he's got 12
40
slots.
Silver?
40... Well, 48 minus what you're going to pay the vendor. How much were you needing to spend?
How much provisions can I carry? 6 only?
6 slots, yep.
6 slots of provisions.
So 1 slot is 6 provisions. So you only had 1 slot of 6. So I'm assuming you're consuming all those for Freddy, and that means you need to spend... How much
is a provision? 1 silver?
2 silver to purchase from a vendor.
Right.
Yeah, so you need to spend for yourself 6 silver.
6 silver, so that will be 54.
Yep.
But then I'll also buy 6 more or 12 more. So that's 24 silver.
Yep. So 1 provision slot holds 6 silver. 1 provision slot holds 6 provisions.
All right, so I will have 6 on me, and I'll carry 6 on Freddy.
Okay, understand. Yep, I can see what you're doing there. Beautiful. And also you're going to put the silver bag on Freddy as well?
Yes. Oh, yeah. So
Don't forget that. You nearly ripped yourselves.
bang. Yep.
Yep.
I think it was 60, maybe.
It was
No, not 60.
48 minus.
48.
Well, then you bought some, didn't you?
Yes. So from 54, which I had, I bought 624. So 54
Oh, if you
minus.
buy it beforehand, it costs 1 gold 6. So 1 gold 6 provision. So just subtract 12 silver from that bag. That's fine.
Okay. So I've got 42 on me. 42 silver on me, and I'll probably just put down 35 silver on Freddy.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah.
All right. Bit longer on the resource management than normal. Conversion of coins. And my head's always never the best using maths of units of 6. It always does my head in. But anyway, you've done well to get that done. All right, let's get serious. Arriving at Fairfield. Here we go. Right, with the weather being no problem, you arrive in the late afternoon. You've been travelling through the Dog Rat Valley, south of Fairfield, until you notice the foothills of the Quivin Mountains. The road snakes east in the direction of a remote hamlet that rests amongst the low hills and sparse woodland. It's surrounded by crop fields and a few livestock pastures. All the buildings in this village are thatched, but the walls are made of mud, stone and timber. As you approach, you notice there's no villagers present in the streets, and I will share with you a map of the village just so you get a look at the outline of what it's like. See if we can share this. So you're coming from the west side of the village because you're traveling east. Out of the shrubland, you see these buildings, and the building that's closest to you is a large 2-story building, and it looks different to the other buildings that you can see in that it is not only more attractive looking, as in it looks like it's newer, but it is the only 2-story building that you can see. And whereas the other buildings are made of timber and mud and timber essentially, this is actually made of solid stone. So it looks like fortify is not the right word, but it looks very solid. So I'll say that you're a far distance away. Okay, so you've just broken out of the shrubland. You can see the village ahead of you, the sun's shining, and we'll see what we'd like to do at a distance in case there's something that you don't want to do immediately. So let's start with Hank. We'll say that you're the first to spy upon this village. What does Hank do?
So Hank walks in so you're saying Hank comes upon this village, whatever, and he sees this 2-story building, right?
Correct, but no villagers.
No villagers.
No.
Hank runs up to the 2-story building with plans to plunder their goods and steal silver.
So you know that you're supposed to be helping Fairfield. So just
yes, but I'm like a
opportunist
Neo hero. Like I'm here to help, but like I'm gonna take my cut.
All right, you do get paid by the Adventurers Guild, but okay. Given it's your first adventure, you've still got that goblin mindset that you're gonna make hay while the sun shines. All right, as you approach Fairfield, I'll say that you start running. You break away from your 2 fellow team members, and as you get closer, you're not quite at that building yet, but you notice 2 things. Actually, make a detect roll. So just to give you a chance of rolling the dice. So detect is a mind-based roll because you're using your mind. You're not skilled in it, so just roll 1 dice and see if you can roll equal or over your proficiency. Let's start with that.
Okay.
As you run towards the building. Okay, so that's a fail. So you've got the option of just taking that fail and I'll describe what you see, or you can use a hero point to re-roll it.
So what happens if I fail?
It just means you might not notice some extra details that were perhaps present. It still means you see because you obviously got eyes. but you may miss out on some detail.
I'll use a hero point and reroll.
All right, subtract a hero point and roll that dice again. Oh, that's a success. So for mind, you have to roll equal over your proficiency. Your proficiency is 3, you rolled a 6. Yeah, so you just subtract one of the hero points. Okay, as you are approaching, you notice 2 things with that success. One, you notice that this building has a sign hanging from it, and it is basically the name of the establishment, and it is called the New Stone Tavern. So you see a wooden sign hung with some maybe copper chain, sort of just swaying slightly because it's a beautiful day, so there's not too much breeze about. So you realize that this must be a tavern. The second thing, as you get closer, you hear a lot of talking inside. So you know that there's definitely a crowd in there. All right, so that's the end of your turn. But you're definitely at the tavern. If the others don't approach, you'll definitely be there first. All right, let's switch to the second person in the turn order, Hestava.
I think that she will have a conversation with Thud as we're approaching the inn and say, look, this guy's going to be trouble. And she's talking about Hank.
Goblin.
You may need to give him a corrective lecture. And she looks at Thud, by which I mean give him an ass kicking at some point. So someone's obviously a little bit too raw around the edges. This one's going to need some work.
well,
Yes,
talking's a free action.
Yep, I agree with you, Cleric Hestava. I thought goblins were supposed to be smarter. He should do it at night when no one can see him.
Yeah.
He shouldn't do it at all. But okay.
Yes.
But aren't orcs like half goblins? So they have the same mindset as me. They're like, okay, maybe we should just refine the plan.
Well, thankfully you don't hear any of this. So as Hestava lets Thud know the possible plan, did you want to also move forward, Hestava, or do you want to keep your ground?
No, unless Thud stops for some reason. Hestava's walking towards the inn.
All right, so you'll be slightly behind Hank, but you can also roll a d6 and see what you can see as you approach more slowly towards the village. It's a mind check to detect. 5 and your proficiency 3, that's success. Okay, you see exactly the same 2 things that I described to Hank. You notice there's a sign and it's clearly marked out that it says the New Stone Tavern. So you can't hear the voices inside though, so you can only make out it's a sign. But because you're not rushing in, the other thing you notice is that there is smoke billowing from one other building in the village, so a bit further in. Let me have a look where it is. Not like a fire, maybe like a hearth or something like that. Let's check which one it is. So, it's the building right next to it. So you can see with building 1, which is the New Stone Tavern, there's like a animal pen, and then to the north there's another building that is also sort of L-shaped. You can see smoke billowing from there further down the street. As you walk forward, Thud, what do you do? I assume you're at the moment, looks like you're riding Freddy.
Yes, I'm riding Freddy, and I'm just behind Hestava. Yes?
Yeah, you are. Do you want to also approach?
Yes, I'll approach and I'll roll to see if I can see anyone, like anyone looking from the windows, or it's totally deserted.
Okay, so first of all, are you just going to go at the same speed as Hestava, or do you want to go quickly like Hank's speed to keep up with Hank?
Now I'm just riding a bit relaxed behind Hestava.
Yeah, no worries. So you can roll. I mean, Freddy's enjoying the sun because Freddy likes just chilling. So Freddy doesn't do anything. Freddy acts on your turn, so you can give Freddy commands if you do want Freddy to do anything other than just relax in the sun, because Freddy's pretty mellow. So Freddy doesn't do anything apart from maybe tongue shoots out now and then to swat an insect that's maybe buzzing by. Freddy does have a skill called leaping. So if you want Freddy to perform actions, you roll a d6. A 1 is a success. So if you do a leaping action, you can roll 2 dice and try and get a 1 on those. So a bit more proficient in leaping. So you can also make a detect roll as you have a look to see if there's anyone looking at you through the windows.
Okay, that's 1d, right? Roll
1d, unless you want to use a hero point to add a dice to it. You only have 1.
I'll probably save my hero point.
Yep. Or remember, you can also prepare. Oh, sorry, you've rolled now. So 5 is a success, and you get a hero. Are you on full hero points?
No, I have 3.
Okay, so just do this to your thing here because the maximum is 6. So this is a good example where Thud has rolled his proficiency number. So I then oh no, you didn't. What did you roll? Oh, you rolled 4. Sorry. No.
I rolled a 4.
Yeah, no, you didn't succeed. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong number. Okay, you have a look, but you don't even notice the sign. You just see a quiet village. You don't make out any details.
So as Freddy's going along, I shout loudly, I am Thud Grub-Eater. I am an orc. I just want to have a drink at your village.
All right, you shout out as Hank, you're about to head towards the door of this tavern. Do you still want to enter after you hear the shouting of Thud, or what do you want to do? It's your turn.
So I've heard Thud saying he's about to come up and get a drink,
Mm-hmm.
and I've heard the people inside, so I'm a little discouraged from plundering.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm more focused on what I'm actually here for. I think I'll wait on Thud, and then we all go in together and start getting clues for while we're here.
Oh, change of heart. All right. You stop at the doorway, but because you are so close, you manage to notice that there's some people milling about, and they're looking towards, they haven't necessarily seen you, but they're looking towards the sound of this yelling, and you can hear the footsteps of one villager at least. They're like going to exit.
Oh.
Do you want? What do you want to do?
I wait for him to come out.
All right. This person emerges. I will bring him into the scene for you. So this gentleman emerges, and as he appears in the doorway, looks like a smiling, like quite content villager. And behind him are, perhaps from your vantage point, probably at least another half a dozen villagers, men and women. You see some kids also between their legs. None of them seem to be looking threatening at all. So this individual emerges and sees you straight away because you didn't try to hide or anything. You were just waiting for the rest of the team. Looks like he's just sticking his head out to see who's calling, and he sees you immediately, and he looks first a bit surprised to see you, and in the distance you can see obviously a giant toad and an orc and then a human who's this individual is human as well, so he seems less taken aback by the human, I guess. But as he looks towards you, he says, welcome to Fairfield. You must be the adventurers that have come to help us. And he smiled. He's trying to still appear like he's smiling, even though he does look a bit fearful.
So I'm on edge myself because I don't know what's involved with who's slaughtering these people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on edge entirely. I'm not just openly and welcoming to them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, that's us. We're here to handle business.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. I can see that you must have come quite a distance, as you do not look like you're from Satir, these parts. Please, come inside. My name is Jorgren. I'm the village chief. And he steps out of the doorway. I mean, he's sort of in the doorway, but he moves aside to let you in. And you notice the people in there, as I said, men, women and children, old and young. They all start, murmuring amongst each other, sort of excitedly and like clearing the way. Some of them sort of start preparing a table with drinks. and he puts his hand forward. Please, please, enter.
So, with that happening, I just go on in ahead and sit at my table, start ordering food and drinks and talking to people. I don't even wait for Thud and Hestava to show up.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I've been journeying. I'm gonna get after it.
Yeah. So on your turn then, because you basically haven't done any particular action, so that's fine. You managed to go in and Jorgren. I'll put his name in there as well, actually. Jorgren. He says, yes, please, food and drink for our friend. And you notice the rest of the villagers, before they act, they all look at Jorgren to make sure that he's okay with what they do. And when he says food and drink, one of the villagers, a plump lady, comes up to you and says, what would you like, adventurer, hero? The blessings for coming to our aid.
I want pie.
Oh, yes, we have pie. And she calls out to one of the other villagers, and you see they start slicing a pie, and then another villager comes up to you. Oh, ale, we have ale. And, they are all looking at you quizzingly. Maybe they haven't seen a goblin before in these parts. All of the villagers are human. And in Age of Adventure in this world, all races are intermingled, so it is sort of rare having a village of all of one community. But as you look at it now, it seems like they are all human here. So they're a bit unsure what you are, but that you are a hero that has come from afar. Before you know it, you've got your ale, and they leave the bottle there as well. And you can see they've give you a large slice of this pie that's still warm. Do you want to tuck into it?
I just start eating, very rudely, and, they're all I want them all to be kind of like, oh, this guy, he's kind of rough, and, they don't want to deal with me, they just want to wait on the others.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not much of a talker.
As you do that, you notice, you don't have many words to say, but as they give you the pie and drink, then they take a few steps back. So none of them stay near you. They give you your space because, they're still a bit unsure. They look towards Jorgren and he says, please, eat, friend. As you are speaking, Jorgren looks back out and he sees this large toad. How do toads walk? They sort of hop. This toad hopping with Thud aboard and Hestava. And he raises his hand and he says, welcome, adventurers, to Fairfield. Please, come into my tavern.
Oh, no.
You are the village chief?
Yes. I can't hear you very well. Please come inside.
Okay. As I get closer to him, I flick him a silver piece.
Okay.
Chief, could you look after my companion over here? And I sort of, you can see my hand swaying towards Hestava, but then I tap my toad. Can you see to it that my companion is fed well? He likes chicken, so if you put a chicken on top of a barrel, cooked or raw, cooked or alive, doesn't matter. He likes sticking his tongue out and catching it. So a few chickens would do him fine.
Okay, as you move closer, what about you, Hestava?
Hestava will be trying to get to where she can watch Buck. No, sorry, I was right the first time. Because obviously he's the obnoxious little sod.
Hank's inside the tavern. So you'd have to go in the tavern.
Yeah, so she's going to go into the tavern.
Okay, so I'll play this out. Hestava, we'll do you first. As you walk past Jorgren, he says, "Oh, welcome," and he puts out his hand to grab yours. You wish to?
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, he seems to want to shake your hand. He says, we have been waiting for you. It has been 3 long days. And again, he tries to break this smile to look like positive. He says, please come in. And he points to the table where you can see Hank hunched over, bits of pie flying and ale being guzzled. And again, some of the villagers come to you and they say, oh, Yes, my lady, what would you like to eat or drink? Your journey must have been long and arduous across the plains.
Well, first, the main thing is why we're here. Let us just get me some oats, and then I'll sit with my colleague, and we'll need one of you to tell us what's going on.
Oh, yes, yes. And they look again to the Jorgrin at the door, and he says, please, please, these are our friends. Please. And they give you the oats, and they say, Jorgrin will explain. And with that, he looks towards you, Thud, and he says, we have a stable master. I will get him to look after your steed and feed the requirements that you mentioned, this chicken on a barrel, as you call it. And as he says that, he yells out towards the stable, Orvald! Orvald! He yells, and you see this other gentleman come out from the stables, who I'll show you. So he wasn't in the tavern, so you didn't notice him until now. He steps out. So this gentleman comes out, and he sees he's got a hat on, and he doesn't seem to be smiling at all, but he nods, and he comes over to you without saying a word, takes the strap of Freddy as you dismount, and starts leading Freddy over to the stables.
Careful, don't startle him. He's sometimes scratches.
He looks towards Jorgrin, and Jorgrin, just raises his hands, I guess. And then the stable master looks towards you, and he just nods. Make a detect roll, Thud. A mind roll.
Mind roll. So I don't have detect. I'll just 1d6.
Unless you want to use a hero point to roll 2 dice. You've only got 1 dice.
Yes, I will. It's got my Freddy.
So here's an example where Thud's using hero point to add an extra dice to his dice pool, so he can roll 2 dice, but still with that he's unsuccessful. Do you want to use a hero point, or just take that as no successes?
So I already used a hero point. Could I use another one?
Yeah, to re-roll if you want.
Okay, 1 hero point left. I will re-roll. Sec.
You desperately want to notice something, eh? Fair enough.
Yeah, it's my Freddy. So.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, 2 successes. Okay. I will tell you with 2 successes 2 things. First of all, this stable hand, Orvald, he looks very nervous. You see his hands shaking a bit as he takes the lead. So something is making him fearful, a bit of a bead of sweat. And you also notice he's walking with a limp. It seems as though his right leg is very stiff. So it's either he's got either a fake leg or a brace, something that's making his leg walk sort of like a stump. And the second thing you notice is that because you've been speaking to Jorgrin, as you speak and say look after Freddy, whatever you do, he's always leaning with one ear, and sort of focusing on what you say. So 2 peculiar things about these characters that you've met. And Jorgrin says, "Oh, please come in. Orvald will look after your steed."
Okay, so Orvald is like stiff leg, right leg, and leaning with one ear. Right?
Orvald seems to have limp, and Jorgrin is leaning with one ear. So Jorgrin's the tavern keep chieftain, and Orvald is the stable hand. Yeah, I think they're called hustlers.
Okay, yep, thank you. I'll make note. And I noticed that, and as I'm entering into the tavern, I sort of put my arm around Jorgrin and say, "Come on, let's go have a drink."
Okay, he looks, you're sort of towering over him. He's just sort of like a human, you're quite big. He says, "Oh, of course. Please, we have a table ready for you." And
Good.
one of the ladies who is serving just seems to be delivering a bowl of oats to Hestava, topping up Hank's ale. You know, they're all sort of waiting hands and foot on the two adventurers already at the table. She says, "And you, brave adventurer, what will you require?" Looking unsure what will sate your...
Do you have wild boar?
Wild boar. He says, "We do have some wild meat." You know, one of them calls. Yes. They say yes, and they look to Yorgrin, and he nods. You know, whatever your requests are, and before you know it, you have a leg or some type of raw. Not raw. You said raw or wild?
No, wild.
Yeah. You find some wild beasts they've killed.
Good.
Okay, so they place that all at the table, and everyone is watching you eat, and waiting for Yorgrin, who comes over. He closes the door, comes over to you, and as you're eating, he says, "We thank the gods that you have come to protect us from this creature. It has attacked and killed each night for the last 3 nights. I know that it has taken you many days to get here, but again we pray to the gods in thanks. Each attack has already left one of us dead and mangled, as if attacked by a powerful beast that snaps bones and crushes limbs. What is your plan?" And then as he says that, the rest of the villagers sort of gather around him and sort of waiting to hear, you know, what you're going to do. And any of you can speak. Turn order not required.
Hestava, go for it.
Well, first of all, she looks around. I need the truth. Tell me and my colleagues what's actually been happening. You say that it's a monster is appearing. Where is it appearing? When does it appear?
Yorgrin, you notice he's leaning in a lot, one side of his body, and then whereas everyone is sort of standing back, he's virtually in melee distance at the table, because it looks as though he's having trouble hearing. But he looks to you and he says, "Oh yes," he says, "unfortunately, heroes, nobody has actually seen the monster in the night, as we have all been hiding in fear. But we do hear and feel the thunderous shaking of its approach." And then as he says that, you know, some other villagers saying, "Oh, my floors, the shutters and windows shake." You know, they mention the descriptions. And then Yorgrin finishes off by saying, "The best I can describe it is that it makes a rattling sound like wood as it enters the village, but only at night."
What about tracks?
Oh, they all look at each other. Oh, you know, they're thinking how smart you guys are. "Oh, we have not seen any tracks, but we do not have any that have been obviously seen. You are free to look around the village." And they almost look buoyed by in confidence that you've come up with, "Oh, what about tracks?"
So I kind of interject and I'm like, "What do you mean you don't have tracks? What do you mean there's just a mysterious monster killing?" Because I'm kind of suspicious, because it sounds more of like a cold-blooded murderer within the town than it does.
Yeah, you question that, and they look a bit sort of frightened at the way your demeanor.
I approach Yorgrin, like, okay. I'm like, "Hey, like, what's the deal here? Like, this sounds suspicious as hell." Like,
yeah, if you want, you can make a roll to if you try and intimidate him. It's like a parlay roll. Do you want to do that, or do you want to just ask the question and not impose yourself?
Is there a roll I can do to see if he's lying or if he knows anything about it?
There's 2 things you can do. First of all, you can choose to make parlay, which is you're not skilled in it, but you'll get 1 dice, and then you tell me how you like. It sounds like you're trying to intimidate him or scare him, like not to mess with you sort of thing. We want the truth. So one option is to make a roll, a mind roll. But remember, 1 success is partial success. You need 2 successes for a guaranteed success, which means you'll have to use a hero point to roll 2 dice. The other option is you can use a hero point to gain insight. you can't detect if someone's lying, but you can gain insight and ask a question, and then I'll answer truthfully, and we can sort of role play how you would ascertain that. So do you want to make a skill?
Can I use the hero point and roll to intimidate them?
You can. What do you want to do first? Can't do both at the same time. So do you want to do? Oh, you want to use a hero point to do the intimidation? Yes, you can. So take off the hero point and roll 2 dice and see if you can get both of those dice equal or over your proficiency.
Okay.
It's good. That is 1 success. So you can use a hero point to re-roll both those dice if you wish, or else I'll give you 1 success of information.
I'll take 1 success.
Yeah, okay. So basically you say to him, what did you say initially? You can repeat it. You said, like, don't mess with us or something, or?
I said, what do you mean you don't have tracks? It sounds like just a common murderer, yada yada.
Yeah. The first thing is that it seems like these villagers are answering truthfully in that they're not hesitating or, you know, they don't seem like they're concocting any sort of scheme. Jorgren says, we have not thought to look at details of tracks. We have not seen anything obvious. I'm sorry if we've offended you, sir.
I'll lay off of him by questioning his credibility as a leader.
Yeah, you see everyone sort of murmurs, not in a disparaging way, but like, oh, don't mess with, you know, we have to be careful, these sort of strangers. I'll say that you do hear one of the villagers say, what is that creature? I've never seen it before. And then another one says, shush, shush. We are not here to ask any questions of these, you know, they're here to help us. And then they all look to Jorgren again. Please, anything I can do to help you. The night will fall shortly, and we fear that it will strike again.
Finish up, Hank. Hestava says, we need to go out and look to see what they've not been seeing whilst there's still daylight.
Jorgren nods.
I agree.
Sorry, I cut you off there, Hank. Yep. And they look towards you, Thud.
Anyone else?
What of you?
So Thud bites into his meat and holds up 2 hands. And in between mouthfuls, he says, I've got 2 questions. Who cooked this meat?
Jorgren says yes, and what's the second question?
Oh, no, I want to know who cooked this meat.
Okay, he says, please, if there's something wrong, I am the leader here. I can address the issues.
I will hold you responsible then. I walk up to him, pick up a pepper and some spice leaves. I said, next time I take his hand, put this in the meat. It'll make it taste better. Have you got these ingredients, or you're finding them off the table? From my crown. Right. So I take it out here. Mix this in. It'll make the food taste better.
He looks like he doesn't understand, but he takes it, gives it to the cook, who's like looking frightened as he takes it as well and puts it in a mortar and pestle and starts grinding it for you.
That is good. Now that we've got the important thing out of the way, when did this attacks start?
Oh, 3 nights hence. Apologies, Brave Warrior. I thought I mentioned that. 3 nights hence, and all taking place at night. We heard the thundering rattle of some large object. We all hid. Unfortunately, some were not as fortunate, and 3 lives have been taken, all mangled and brutally broken. They now rest in peace with the gods, Orlanth and Nalda.
Did these people live close to each other, or were they far apart?
No, they were all villagers, part of Fairfield. He looks around and he says, this is all of us. And you see there's about 24 people in this village. And he says, we are all here, except Orvald, who is the ostler. And he looks around, and the people murmurs, and you hear another name mentioned, Viborna. And he says, I do not know. Where is Viborna? He says, and a few go, You told everyone to be here, Jorgren. We mentioned for her to be here, but it does not look she is here. And he says, oh, apologies. I tried to get everyone here to welcome you, but she must be taken up with other duties. Yes, the 3 victims, may their soul rest in peace. They were all residents here in Fairfield. You know, and everyone few people start, you know, had mention at the deceased, start crying, and others console them because it's still fresh. Like, you know, literally what he's saying is there was a death last night. You know, like it's.
And which direction do the attacks come from, or did they come from all around?
We do not know. As I mentioned, brave warrior, we have not seen it. We only hear the rattling and the thundering, and then silence, and only to find the deceased mangled, broken.
And did anything happen 3 days ago that would have done this? Made anyone anything angry?
There's silence
Did
at
anyone
that.
do anything? I'm looking at everyone.
When
I'm
you
asking
do
this
that,
to everyone.
there's they all look at each other. It's like they want to speak. The people want to speak, but they all look towards Jorgren, and he sort of looks at them and says, "No, no, no." You know, he sort of tries to. He puts his hand up because he senses that someone will say something, and then someone blurts out, "It's the ducks." They say. He says, "No, no," and then you know that brings up some more murmur, and he says, oh, "Please, please," he says. We cannot blame our neighbors. We have another community that live in Dankmere.
It's okay, Jorgren. Let them talk.
He speaks for them and says there is another community that another community in Dankmere, which is it on your map? Let's have a look. Map of the area. Oh yeah, it's area number 4, 3 and 4. The Duck Village. He says, the people of Fairfield are a bit wary of outsiders. This community of ducks came and has occupied the village of Dankmere and renamed it Drakemere. We leave them to their own devices. I'm sure they have nothing to do with it, as the ducks are refugees from Boldholm, which was part of the wars 3 years ago, and they were displaced from their community. Other than that, there has been nothing untoward or unusual that has happened.
Mm-hmm. And just out of character, how long is it before it's sunset? A few hours?
Yeah, a few hours. You've probably got about, you know, less than 2 hours of light before it's dusk.
Okay. Well, I think it'll be safer if you all stay here tonight.
Oh, they all sort of nod. Jorgren says, if this is what you suggest for our safety, it shall be done. People, grab your possessions from that you require, your necessities, and gather here in my tavern, the New Stone Tavern. The adventurers say you'll be safe here. Oh, bless you, adventurers. They all start dispersing unless Hestava or Hank want to add anything or ask anything. Jorgren stays there with you. No, with that, Hestava, well, that's Thud's had a bit of a turn. Hestava, you mentioned about tracking.
Yeah, primarily we're going to go. Just thinking at this moment, go outside and look around. The people we're talking to are obviously not going to be entirely honest with us until we find things to poke them with. But she will once we're at. But it also gives us a chance to get outside and actually make a plan without them listening in.
Okay. You step outside. So I'll just see if Hank, did you want to go outside or stay inside?
I'll go outside. I'll join them.
Yep. Thud.
I will finish my meal and I'll probably have a conversation with
Jorgren.
Jorgren.
Yeah, okay. Well, what we'll do is Hank and Hestava leave so they can have privacy and they can do checks around the village. You remain inside with Jorgren, and the rest of the villagers disperse, except for the staff of the tavern, like the cook, and they come over to you, Thud, and they grind some of the herbs on your carcass. As you've requested.
Yep.
But let's go to see what the others are doing first. Let's start with turn order. We'll start with Hank. So you're outside with Stava, who was talking about tracking. Did you want to do anything in particular?
Okay. So, I think there's something up with this chief. I think he knows more than he's letting on. I'm not completely sure yet. But I think that we should just stake out and see what shows up tonight.
That's part of the plan. People never volunteer the truth immediately. So let's take a walk around the village. Did you notice the one village the one house that's putting out a little bit of smoke? Maybe we can do a circuit of the village first and then come back and knock on that door.
Yes.
I'll join them on this.
Yeah, having said that, you do look around and you can see clearly there is one building. It's right next to the tavern, adjacent the stables, where you can see someone in the stables tending to Freddy, as well as there's horses in there as well. So I'm going to share with you as you start walking around the village. Actual villagers, the peasants, they all walk past you. No one says anything, but they always nod with respect. But they do keep their distance so there are others milling around. It looks like they're grabbing possessions and heading back to the tavern. But I'm going to share another map with you because I'll say that you do a circuit of the village and you notice these two key features. Let's see if I can share this. Yep. All right. So you'll notice there's a map now with 4 locations that you notice. Other key things. First of all, there's the New Stone Tavern, which is marked as 1. There is the Red Smith. That's where the smoke was coming from. So it's like a smithy, like a blacksmith that deals in certain types of metals. And you can hear the clang of that person working inside the smith. There's also a burial ground where a lot of the villagers are going to pay their respects before they head to the tavern. So they're currently gathered around the burial ground. Some of them start wailing, crying, and all this sort of stuff because of the recent deaths. And you also notice across the bridge of the stream, there's a sign that says, even though on the map it says to Drakemere, the sign actually says Dankmere. And there's an arrow that points in that direction. So they're the 4 things that sort of stand out to you as you do your circuit. But as you're doing it, because I'm mindful that you were looking for tracks, so I'll assume that you look for is there any particular area you want to look for tracks, or we can just make a general roll on the main road?
I think we investigate the Drakemere place, because they accused him of it.
Yes, but that's probably hours away. Remember, it's if you look at the other map, not the Fairfield map, but the area map, there's a good walk to get to there.
How about we just?
You could probably reach it by nightfall if you left now.
Do you want to investigate the? I'll investigate the entrance of the town from Drakemere and see if I can find anything.
So,
investigating the entrance to the town. Yes, absolutely. I would say that we'd look all around that with the intention of trying to find something. Whether that something is coming from the burial ground, whether that something is coming from Dankmere, Drakemere. And then, as your character suggested, and she agreed to, it's like we can We can do our cursory examination of the village and trying to spot anything that comes up. But waiting here and watching to see what happens this night is not a bad plan. And then tomorrow we can go over and maybe start talking to ducks.
All right. So what I'm going to do is, because you've got time, like there's no pressures, I'll give you a bonus dice for preparedness. None of you have got skills in tracking or Pathfinder, so you only have 2 dice to roll, but it is a mind check to detect tracks, I should say. So unless you want to use a hero point to increase your dice pool to 3, I'll get you all just to roll 2 dice, and this will determine, as you move together, what you notice at the near the bridge, at all the entry points that could possibly... Basically, you do a circle of the whole village to see if there's any tracks. So
okay, there's one possible outstanding thing for the spell divine.
Ooh,
Now it says reveal beyond or within one structure, but is that a divination of information, or is it like a far-seeing kind of spell?
Yes. Good question. What that is typically used for, but I'm open to creative uses of it. It's you can touch something and see through it. So how other players have used it in the past, if there's a chest and they want to see what's in it without opening it, you can divine what's inside there. If they want to see what's behind a door or a wall without going into the room, you can divine through that. So generally it's seeing through something by touch.
Okay,
Yep.
Thank you.
So roll 2 dice if you're happy just to use the preparedness bonus, or 3 dice if you're happy to burn a hero point. And we'll see how you go. You can both roll. 2 fails. What a good start. What about you, Hestava?
Yep, that's my roll.
God, 2 fails again. Do either of you want to use a hero point to re-roll? Or neither of you?
No.
Okay. Did you want to, Hestava?
Well, the player of Hestava is a little bit restricted on that, given the initial roll of how many hero points she has. So
Never know. You might roll a 3 in the new roll. Get that hero point back.
yeah, I might also need that one remaining hero point for something else later.
Fair enough. You do a full walk around now because it's been good weather. There's no rain recently to wash out tracks, so anything done with something heavy, because they're mentioning was like a thunderous rattle that they heard and like terrified them. So you think this thing's got to be heavy. You don't find anything. You see, what worries you is that the dust that's on the road still picks up all the footprints of everyone walking around. So if something heavy had come through, it's either been covered up or you failed your rolls, metagaming. Yeah, you don't notice anything. While you guys are walking around, like looking for tracks, Thud, inside. Jorgren says,
Yes.
sorry, I in all the excitement of you arriving, we weren't sure whether the city would send anyone. I forgot to ask your name, brave warrior.
My name is Thud Grabita.
Thud, thank you for heeding our call. And what's of your friends, the human woman?
She is Cleric Hestava.
Oh, Cleric. Is she a student of Orlanth and Ernalda? She was not wearing the vestments.
Yes, you will be best suited to ask her.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
He says a cleric.
And-
Very well. And your little
And
friend?
we have a goblin monk, Goblin Hank.
A goblin. Oh, we have not seen these creatures, but you are all welcome, and we accept your assistance. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Yes, sit down. Let's chat. It's always good to have company when someone's eating. This is very good, by the way, once the chef has added the spices.
He looks at your contraption on your head and he says, I have not seen anything like this in all my years working at a tavern.
Yes, this is from an elf king.
Oh, he looks very impressed. And the whole time he's leaning with the preference of one ear.
Yes. You know, I had an uncle once who did something like you're doing. You're leaning in with one ear because when we asked him, he said he could not hear without
As soon
in the
as you
other ear.
mention his ear, he becomes conscious that he was leaning, and he says, it is nothing. It is something that I have had from birth. Please, it is nothing.
Now, it's okay. We had an uncle who did that. So what we did, we put a really hot iron in his other ear just to see. Maybe that would make it work.
He
We thought
looks
his ear was
shocked.
blocked.
No, please. I've already lost hearing here. And you see, as he says that, his whole demeanor from being, maybe forcibly cheerful and welcoming and, being a strong leader, he suddenly looks like he's seen death.
Yes.
You've hit some nerve.
So your ear is from birth? You were born with it?
Yes, I said. Yes, and he paused himself. Well, what else do you want from us? And his demeanor changes. As some villagers start coming in, he says, oh, let us clean. You need to clean. He starts giving directions to try and deflect from your questioning about his hearing.
And so we are the only adventurers you have sent for? You haven't sent for anyone before?
He looks back at
I
you and he
don't-
says, sorry, I did not hear that. Apologies, I got confused for a minute. What was that you said, Thud?
You have no fear from me. I want to make that very clear from the very beginning. Unless you are involved with what's going on around, you do not need to fear me.
Oh,
I
I swear to the gods, I know nothing about it. I want to protect this community.
I haven't. It's only humans here. I haven't seen any other races. Is it the reason? Are you not welcoming of other races?
No, not at all. Do not worry about the talk of the ducks. We welcome everyone. It is them that has not been willing to mix with us. When they first arrived, I actually spoke to their leader, Darwin, but he didn't want anything to do with us. So we leave them to their own devices. We're welcoming of all kinds. It is just that we are a remote community. None of the other communities, such as yourself, have wanted to come and join us here. But I am welcoming of all. We are welcoming of all.
I will keep that in mind, and when we get back to the city, I'll pass the word around that you are welcoming of all. So,
If anyone wants to
there
live
is-
out here in the remote
Yes.
hills,
yes,
we are just simple
some
farmers.
of my kin like isolation and like being left alone.
He sort of nods and says, how are you going to deal with this threat? Your friends are looking for tracks. But what are you going to do
Yes.
when it arrives? Can you help us?
Yes, we are here to help you, but we need to know what we are dealing with. Charging blindly into battle doesn't end well for anyone. So we will get to the bottom of this. We'll find out what's happening, and then we'll deal with it.
He puts his hand on your hand. The melding of communities, he says, and looks at you solemnly with his eyes. Thank you, Thud. Thank you. I'm trying to be strong for my people, but we have already had 3 deaths. I cannot tolerate another death tonight.
You are a leader, Joe Green. You have to be tough.
She nods. He tries to take strength in your immense physical and also emotional strength.
Yes, a strong leader gives strength to his people. Maybe have a few stiff drinks. A few drinks always help humans gain bravery, I've heard.
All right, he does take an ale. He drinks, and you notice a few of the villagers there are watching your interaction, just sort of maybe with interest. But once you've completed that, Hank and Hestava, you finished your tracking check. Was there anything you wanted to do outside? You notice that Thud hasn't emerged from the tavern.
Is it dark yet?
We'll say that an hour has passed. The sun is just starting to dip. It'll be night within the next hour.
Okay. I would say I have the ability to see in the dark because I'm a goblin, right?
Mm-hmm.
in grayscale.
What's grayscale? What's that mean?
Just you can't see colors, but you can see like in black and white, and only at a near distance. So things out of throwing distance, they're far away, you can't see unless there's some light there.
Gotcha. So I mentioned that I have the ability to dark see and tinker. So I propose the plan that I set some traps in front of outside of the tavern in case anything tries to attack the tavern, or just set some traps out and talk about camping out for the night and offer that they don't have to do it, they can protect the villagers or whatever, but I can stay out, and in case something happens, I'm there and can alert them.
Unfortunately, Mr. Goblin, you've not earned our trust yet. You still have you still have some tendencies that we need to work on that may well mean that you are not a good choice for the guild. So I'll be staying with you tonight, and perhaps we should visit the graveyard first. The burial.
Okay, yeah, you can tag along. Are we time out, are we still doing my plan, or am I going with what you're saying?
Oh no, she's not correcting you. She's just saying that I'm sorry. The way you started out the character at the beginning gives me as a player the need to basically kind of have Hestava not trust you. So
Okay, stick to that. Yeah, stick to that.
Okay.
I'm a little confused. Stick to that.
Okay.
So we're still gonna do the camp out thing. Just you're gonna tag along with me, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately, he's going to have to put up with quite a lot of religious bantering about your behaviour.
So right at this point, you could definitely split, and Hank could prepare some traps, and you could, Hestava, go to the graveyard if you want, or you could stay together, but only do one of those actions.
If it's going to take him a chunk of time to do his traps, then Hestava will head over to the burial.
Yeah. So
just to give that a more appropriate check.
Yeah. So Hank, you can in the next hour, if you wish, you could set a trap at every entry point where the roads are. We can talk about what sort of trap, as well as in the front of the tavern. I think you mentioned you want to do something there. Is your idea that something will approach from either... There's two ways in. There's where towards Drakemere, there's the road on the east, and then the road west where you guys came from. They're the two entry points. So...
Yeah, I want to set traps there and in front of the tavern.
Yep, and what sort of traps do you want to set? Alarms? Or...
Like a pit that they would fall into.
If you'd want to do a pit, you're going to have to enlist the villagers to help you dig something, because you're expecting this to be, you need to make it quite like a near size, big enough to drop something that's large in. So you'd have to speak to some of the villagers or enlist them. If you make something...
How long would that take?
Well, we can try now if you want to try on your own, speak to some of the villagers, or you can go into the tavern and tell Jorgen your plan, get him to get some villagers to help you.
As your character, it's perfect. It seems perfectly in line not to care about this. But player to player, if you set up traps that are capable of hurting people and things, you might well hurt some innocents. But that's your choice. I certainly wouldn't want. I wouldn't want to take that away from your character. Just throwing it out there.
No, you're giving me advice. It's okay. It's my first time playing.
You can do pits. You can do something to string an arrow or a dagger if you want to hurt. But a pit could trap something, as well as hurt them.
I want something that's going to hurt, because these villagers shouldn't be out at night anyway, so it's their fault if they come out.
Well, you did hear Jorgen say that everyone is to stay in the tavern, as that was the plan suggested by one of you guys. So you notice they are starting to, wander into the tavern with blankets and food and that sort of stuff, some personal possessions.
So I guess I would set up like arrows or something to like hit and hurt whatever falls into my trap.
Okay, do you have any of these items? What have you got?
Do I?
You've definitely
Let's
got a tinker set, so you could use that to set it up. You just let's have a look. Oh, you've got 6 blades, so you could set one up with blades. You could ask them if they've got any weapons. So if you're going to build, if you want to build the pit or just set up traps that get triggered by a wire and then something like slashes.
Yeah, so I go into the tavern. I demand blades and wire to set up this 3 traps, one at each road entry point and one in front of the tavern.
Yep. So if anyone triggers it, the blades will actually slice them. Is that pretty much your idea?
Yes. Correct, yes.
All right. You go in and you demand that of Yorgrin. I guess he stands up as soon as you enter. You see he's still at the table with Thud, and you can make a mind roll to tell him about your plan.
Is that just 1D?
It is 1D. You have to roll 3 or higher.
All right. Sweet.
Yeah, okay. So with 1 success, he looks at Thud, because he's still not sure who's in charge, but he looks at Thud and says, "It sounds like a good plan." What do you think, Thud?
Yes, Goblin Hank seems to know what he's doing. So I would suggest you follow him.
Okay.
You aid him the best you can.
He goes to the kitchen and grabs out blades, and you know that you need 6 blades. Like he gets your steak knives or whatever. 6 per trap. And you've got the Tinker Toolkit, so you don't need the wires or anything. You can use your Tinker Toolkit for that. So you don't have to use your throwing blades. He gives you all the sharp implements you need to make, some type of trap that if it gets crossed, so if anyone enters from Drakemere or enters from the west or tries to enter the front door or exit the front door of the tavern, this trap will be set. Is that a good summary of what you want to set?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, if anyone comes into the town, like, they're gonna get sliced. If anyone tries to enter the tavern, they're gonna get sliced.
Yeah. So with that, you get to. This will take you the full hour working into the night to set all these up. You don't have to, because it doesn't involve a pit, so you can basically do it on your own. But as you are working, you notice some of the villagers, especially the kids, they're very curious what you're doing, because you've got this like little toolkit out and you're hammering in and getting these wires and covering with a bit of bush. They're not saying anything; they're just sort of watching in amazement. Sort of what you're doing. Are you okay with that, or?
No, I look at Thud. I tell him to scare them off and tell them to get away so they don't get hurt. Because Thud is supposed to be more intimidating, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Size-wise.
I don't know. They seem pretty sheepish, although they're just watching. Yeah, they're not right next to you. They're watching from the sort of bit of a distance, but you do have a bit of a crowd that's interested. So, Thud, I'll assume at this point. Yeah, Thud.
Yeah, I'm outside now.
Sorry.
No, I said I'm close to Hank now.
Yeah. Do you want to do what help him shoo the villagers away?
Yes. I sort of turn around, look at them, and say, "It's time that you all went into the tavern now. The sun is setting, and it's not safe to be out here."
Oh, yes, sorry. We were just interested in your friend. He seems very industrious. We've never seen such dexterous work and quick hands. They're sort of respectful of his trade, but they all do move. Come on, children. They take your advice.
As they're going away, I yell out, "Yes, Goblin Hank is pretty good. I'm sure he'll teach you a few things if you are willing to pay him." And I wink at Hank.
Yeah, that's what I did.
That is how you get silver the easy way.
All right, Hank. You can make your... Now, I'm going to give you... You already have a bonus die because you've got the skill Tinker, but I'll also say that you have time to prepare and take your time to set up these traps. So you can roll 3 dice, and so it's 2 dice because you're skilled, an extra dice because you're prepared. So, I've given you a bonus. So roll 3 dice and see if you can get 2 successes. 2 successes means all your traps will definitely be set off if something crosses them. Yep, you got a 6 and a 4. No worries. So you're very happy with your work. As you go to the bridge area, you realise your trap is well set. Anything that crosses that, whether it be a human, a vehicle, a creature, those blades will trigger and will do D6 damage. So it's quite deadly trap. The same with the west side. You've got a trail of wire across there and a spring. And you haven't set the one in front of the door until everyone's obviously in the tavern. But when that's ready, you know that you can set the last wire and that'll also be ready. You just have to warn the villagers not to exit because it's quite lethal. All right, that's your action as the sun starts setting. Hestava, what do you want to do as you see Hank busily setting up the traps?
Well, if you remember, she went to the graveyard, to the burial
Yes,
site.
you see there's half a dozen villagers still there, maybe the ones closest to the deceased, you know, very tearful. Some are moving back to the tavern and they nod to you in respect. And as they pass, some of them have religious icons in their hands and they nod as they cross you.
She, I think at this point, would probably just not exactly ignore them, but just not pay too much attention. She's going to be interested in making sure that the rites have the burial site is in good condition. That the people are showing this level of respect to the people who have passed on, but specifically interested in counting how many graves might be considered fresh or disturbed.
Ooh. Okay, first of all, make a religion roll, and that gives you an assertion of what they're doing, you know, and perhaps even the religion if you roll really well. You get 2 dice because you're skilled in religion, and it's a mind roll. Let's make that first.
Now, is this to do with the people?
This is to do with their ceremony, to see, you know, what their tradition is.
Because I was going to ask about being able to prepare, but if it's something that they are doing, then I'll withdraw the request because she wouldn't have any ability to spend extra time doing.
Yep, but good thinking though. Always thinking about that prepare bonus.
Okay, snake eyes again.
Jesus. You're on fire. Okay, you've never seen this sort of tradition before. Unless you want to use a hero point, the only thing you notice is that there's no burial graves. All there is little mounds with urns on top of them, and we'll say there's some incense in 3 of them, and some symbols in front of them which you don't recognize, unfortunately. So if it's a religion, it must be a very rare one, or it's just maybe something local to this particular village. As to your second part, you wanted to check if the graves were fresh. All you've got is the urns. There are no graves. Yeah, all you've got is the urns. And you've got some mourners there as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think if there is someone who's not immediately running off, she will start to discuss the care. She'll start out with the discussion of the care of these sites. Try to understand what it is that they're doing. If it's just urns, then I think she would presume that they cremate the bodies. So she'll dig in and she'll see if there's any way of kind of extracting any other information, given that Jorgrin's not around to stop people from kind of explaining.
Yeah. We'll say
would that be parlay?
It will be parlay, but what I'll do is actually I'll give you a particular character here. This woman here. Okay, as you approach, she she helps the mourners, who are very frail and crying, to get up and head towards the tavern, and then she nods towards you. You know, she seems to be the only one who's not tearful. So the others, she's sort of pushed away, and now she's also now walking past you without a word. You want to stop her or ask her questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll stop her and say, I see you're helping the ones who've lost people. Do
She,
you are you normally this involved in the graveyard?
first thing before she answers, you notice she seems to be the only person that you've seen so far who's armed. She has on her belt a curved one-handed sword. Also, she has a lot of tattoos, which no one else seemed to, didn't strike you. I mean, maybe they did under their garments, but she seems to be, exposing them in a way. And she's also really muscular. If you were to, make a surmise, you would say that she's probably a fighter or a warrior of some description because of her strength, and also the fact that she seems to be the only one armed. And she says to you, "We have suffered a lot of loss. I thank you for coming to help us. How can I help you? My name is Viborna."
She gives a deliberate long look and says, "When someone is armed like you, I would have thought there would be more understanding of what is facing the village, even if it was too powerful to challenge directly. I would have thought maybe you would know more."
She without like any expression, she says, "I have volunteered to go to the ducks. I fear that it is them trying to make us leave, as they have already taken over Dankmere and renamed it Drakemere, a desecration of that community from our ancestors. If this is not sorted tonight, I will head there myself."
But it was a community that didn't exist, right? The ducks merely took over.
But the lake is our land.
An empty place.
The lake is part of our land. They are on Fairfield ground. We have been here longer. And their leader is not someone who wanted to seek peace with us. He believes that the ducks and humans can never coexist. And she tells you his name, which I've forgotten. Tells you Darwin. Yeah, that's good. Good memory. Well done. Yes, Darwin, their leader. But if you can deal with this threat tonight, then it will be settled.
Well, sounds like your plan is not dissimilar from ours. What I would suggest is that you join forces with us and back us up as we watch over the village tonight, and then we can all go to visit the drakes.
She nods, puts her hand on her hilt. He says, "If you need anything, I'm the Red Smith. My hearth is always burning, for I am always creating and melding with copper and alloys. I will work through the night if you require anything. I will also give you this." And she says, "This is what tells me that the ducks are responsible. I have not shown this to Jorgrin, as he is too naive." And she hands you a clump of what seems to be wet, mushy weeds. I found this on that. You can, if you want, you can take it and add it to your 0 item. So she gives you, if you do want to take it, otherwise she'll keep it. She's got it in a pouch. She says, "I found this on the body of Bera." She points to one of the urns. Poor girl was frightened, went to tend her sheep when the noise frightened them, and unfortunately she was killed by whatever thunderous evil entered this village. But on her body, her crushed body, I found these weeds embedded in her. These weeds, I believe, come from the lake.
Well, since we are joined now. You should keep that. The evidence and the witness should stay together.
She puts them back in her pouch and she says, I will warn you, brave cleric. The bodies were crushed, trampled as if by a stampede or perhaps thrown by a giant. This creature is of immense strength.
So tonight when we call on you, our first reaction will not be direct conflict. Okay. You seem like a cautious and intelligent woman. Good to have you with us.
And yourself. What can I call you, friend?
Hestava. I'm cleric of Langholmai. Although my organization prefers Orlanth Adventurous, which I have great respect for, but I choose to search the truth, and this is just one more step.
She nods. She says, I have only lived in these lands. I have no knowledge of the religions and the gods outside Fairfield, but they have abandoned us, and now it is time. It's time for man. She puts out her hand like in a warrior grip to give you a human-to-human bonding.
Yep, Hestava will, and pass on whatever disease that the innkeeper's got to her. Yeah.
She says, I will remain in my smithy. So if you require me during the night, just call my name and I will assist. I'll be in my workshop.
We know where to find you.
She nods and she heads to her workshop.
Rest. Make sure you rest as well.
I shall be ready.
And then Hestava will, and then once they part, Hestava will just kind of like walk around the rest of the graveyard and just make sure that it is being properly tended, but also just kind of like look out for anything that. The original thing was I was going to have her look for the possibility of undead or other shenanigans, but since they're burning the body, since they're cremating the bodies, that already kind of like eliminates the obvious. But
you can make a detect roll,
she'll just go around
with a prepared because you've got time, so you can get a bonus dice on a mind check, so 2 dice to see if there's anything else untoward. Hey, 2 successes. As you are on your own at the graveyard, you know, you've only got like a few minutes, say 10 minutes, as the rest of all seem to have gathered inside the tavern, and you can see that some are lighting torches and some braziers at intervals around Fairfield, just to give some light to some of the buildings, you know, in case you need to, whatever you need to do. So, you know, they're not sure who has night vision or whatever. They light areas so that if you're in the streets, you'll have some vision. You see they start lighting some braziers and torches, and then they quickly run, you know, into the tavern. You're left a bit on your own there. Let's have a look. So at the graveyard, they got the ceremonial urns. Some are burning. The only tracks back and forth are like footsteps that have gone. Oh, you do notice there is a funeral pyre made in sort of a metal plinth that they obviously can lie a body on, sort of like a brazier, but for cremating bodies. So it does seem like you're right with the cremation, but you don't notice anything else untoward. It seems like they cremate the bodies and put them in the urns.
Yeah, she won't disturb it out of respect, and then she'll head back.
Okay, so before we have a break, where are you going to be when night falls? So Hank, Hestava, and Thud. I know you've got the trap set up, but what's your plan outside of that? All right, Hestava and Thud, Hank lets you know that wasn't what he signed up for. He departs west, reminding you to make sure that no one enters or exit the main doors to the tavern, because he's got the trap set.
Thud goes to the stables to check up on Freddy and maybe have a chat to Ovold.
Okay, yeah, I'll say that happens before nightfall. So as Hestava is returning from the burial ground and Hank's returning from making the traps, I'll do this action before the break. So you go into the stables and you can see Orvold securing the horses and also has tethered Freddy. You see there's a chicken on a plinth that is fresh meat that Freddy is eating, and Freddy looks at you and burps, seems quite happy, and Orvold looks towards you very sheepishly and then starts limping out of the stables without a word.
Ovold, hold on. I'd like to have a word with you.
He looks quite frightened. You already noticed he was very nervous, and you can see that is still there. He says, you must speak to Jorgren. I don't know anything. I just look after horses.
That's okay. Let's talk about horses. I have a question.
As soon as you say that, his eyes dart towards a certain part of the stable where some horses are. And he looks more nervous, if that's even possible.
Yes, don't worry. I don't know if you've heard of Orc's reputation, but we don't like the taste of horse that much. So they're all safe. Come.
I do not know how I can help you. I am just the ostler. I look after and tend to the horses.
Come. I walk towards the horses. I take a leaf of probably cabbage from my horn and start feeding to the horses to sort of put him at ease.
Okay, yep, they take it, being the fresh vines from the crown.
Yep.
Okay.
So, Ovold, how long have you been tending these horses?
It's something I've done all my life. And even when I fell off a horse and broke my leg, and now I bear this limp, I do not hold it against them. And after he says that, he looks at you intently for your reaction to that.
It is good. It looks like you have a good heart. It is good for a person to have a good heart.
Yes, let us go to the tavern.
Now, hold on. I have a question. Do the horses get scared when the noise starts? When the creature that you say something attacks at night, how do the horses react?
I have been with them all 3 nights. Some call me a coward for not going out. I do wish to remain with them, but Jorgren says that you have asked us all to remain within the tavern. I fear for them.
I tell you what, you can stay with the horses. I'll talk to Jorgren and tell him that you're staying with the horses.
He puts out. He smiles. He smiles. Okay, I will head back, or you will tell him, and I will remain here then.
Yes. But do the horses get scared when the noise starts, when the creature or whatever it is out there attacks?
Okay, make a mind roll, because you're parlaying with him. I'll give you a bonus die because you fed the horses and you put him at ease.
Okay, so that's 2D, right?
Yeah, you're not very good when it comes to parlaying.
No.
You never know your chances until you roll. Oh, 1 success. Okay.
Ooh, awesome.
Are you happy to take that, or you want to use a hero point to reroll?
I only have 1 hero point, so I'll probably save that.
Yeah. He's nervous, mainly because he is trying to keep you away from 2 of the horses. You notice his eyes always dart to the horses, and every time he tries to leave, he tries to move away from them. So you're like, and we'll say that when you went to feed, you didn't feed one of the 2 horses he's looking at. And he was like grateful, like he's like, whew.
Ovold, we orcs, we come from a race of warriors.
Yes, you look very serious. He looks at your weapons and everything.
We ride steeds, we ride any type of animal we can. into battle. And we have a great deal of respect for any companion, animal,
Yes.
human, or goblin that aids us.
I was going to ask what this was, and he points to Freddy. A beautiful
That is
creature.
Freddy. It was a gift for saving a child.
Okay, he nods. He seems more
Is-
relaxed.
So you have no fear from me or from Freddy. We have no interest in you apart from just helping out and maybe earning a few silver in doing so, because you know how you've seen, well, ask the tavern people on how I eat. Sometimes it gets very expensive. Is there any reason you're worried about those two horses?
Okay, as soon as you point out, like, and you make a point of those two horses, he straight away rattles off. Oh, no. I bartered for these from a deserter during the war. And
You're not lying to me, are you?
please, I need to go in the tavern. I cannot tell you any more.
Okay, aren't you staying with the horses?
Oh, yes, sorry. I will stay here. Please, I do not want any trouble.
Okay, well, you will not get any trouble from me. However, to save the people of this village, to save your precious horses, if you have anything that you need to tell me, you better tell me now. I sort of dig into my purse and give him 1 silver. Even though you may not trust me, here's something to keep your horses fed in case things turn out for the worse.
Okay, I'll tell you this. Right, if you give him 1 silver, I'll let you roll a d6. On a 1 in 6, he helps you further. So what that tells you is if you give him 6 silvers, he'll guarantee give you extra info.
All right, I'll give him 6 silvers.
All right, you bring out 1, and he's like, rubs his mouth, and then you chuck out a few more, and he's like, right, he whispers, as if no one can hear anyway, but he whispers to you, and he says, these 2 horses. He brings you to them, and you notice as he points them out, he takes off their drapes, and you notice that these horses are older, but they are very well, like, good condition. You can tell they're strong.
Yep.
And they've got a branding, and the branding's of like this red helmet that's been seared into them. And he says, these are horses from the Lunar Empire. And you've heard of the Lunar Empire, but you'd need to get some more information or use a hero point because you're not familiar with their territory. But he says, the Lunar Empire occupied this area during the war 3 years ago. He says, that I have not done anything wrong, though. I deserve these for what was done to me. And he points to his leg.
Huh. So you didn't fall off a horse?
No, I'm sorry I lied.
It is okay. So you want to tell me the truth now?
All right. He tells you, I took these horses from a soldier, a lunar warrior that came here and terrorized us. I was owed my dues. Jorgren and Viborna said it was okay, that I was to keep them. And they have done very well. I have used them to sire other horses. But now they are old, past their time. And he pockets the silver. And he puts the cover back on them to cover the branding. And he says, do you think this has something to do with what has happened to us? Perhaps a curse?
Is the soldier dead? The soldier you took the horses from?
All right. He just comes clean and says, we killed him, Jorgren, myself, and Viborna, but only after he maimed me. He also clubbed Jorgren into the side ear, and Jorgren became deaf. And Viborna, poor Viborna, he burnt her horribly, and now she wears her hair over one side of her face. So while he was sleeping, in revenge, we poisoned him. We placed him back inside his chariot. We killed him, and then threw his chariot into the lake. I fear that we have unleashed some curse upon us. I'm sorry. He lands on his knees. Please do not tell Jorgren I have told you this. It was a long time ago. 3 years. I do not know why it is coming now, happening now.
It is okay. It is okay. You have given me much to think about. Just tell me one thing. Was the soldier evil?
As I said, he maimed me, he scarred Viborna, and he clubbed Jorgren. He was going to terrorize us all. He made us feed him, and then when he was resting inside the tavern, that is when we dispatched him. I'm not proud of it. But yes, he was evil. He was a warrior of the Lunar Empire. They have caused much terror in this land. They are the ones who drove the ducks from their home in home mode. Which you know that is a part of the map area.
Yep.
Is it called home?
It is okay.
Baldhome.
You don't need to worry. I will keep my lips sealed and only share this with my colleagues. But fear not. Dispatching of anyone who is evil is highly regarded in my race. So,
he looks.
You've done well.
He looks relieved. I'll give you another mind roll with a bonus dice. In terms of the parlay, like the discussion. So I'll give you that roll just as a bonus. So you can roll 2 dice and see if either of those is 5 or higher.
Oh, no.
He says, thank
I
you.
can afford it.
I will look after your code mount equally as well as my horses. He's got 6 horses in total. 4 are his normal horses and 2 are the Lunar Empire, like chariot horses.
Yes, I will appreciate it, and thank you for being honest with me.
All right, and with that, let us take our break. We'll only have 1 break during this game. So we have the heroes as night falls, ready for the encounter that is going to eventuate. We'll just say as the sun dips, both Thud and Hestava retreat back into the tavern just for a last, tactical meeting before you can, go anywhere you want, obviously, in the village. So I'll pass it to you two. You guys can have a chat, but Jorgren mentions that everyone is in the village accounted for, apart from Orvald and Viborna.
Yes, I have told Orvald to stay with his horses.
Oh, well, hopefully he does listen to that advice.
Why he doesn't normally stay with his horses?
Well, I don't want him to, if the creature comes for him, that he puts them ahead of his own life.
That is okay. I think he'll be fine with the horses. Plus, you've got Freddy there, so...
Ah, yes, thank you. I trust your judgment, Thud. And you see, everyone looks terrified. As the sun dips, they put all the shutters closed. They're buttoning themselves in. Some of them are armed with pitchforks and things. They've brought sort of weapons in, farm implements in case they need to use them. They're all looking at you sheepishly.
I pull aside Hestava and tell her what Orwell told me.
Okay, you've passed on all that information.
Yes.
Same.
Yep, he passes on the information. So you're both up to speed with both Viborna and Orvald's positions. You want to bring anything up with Jorgren?
will... Hestava's plan at the moment is to stay outside of the inn. You indicated it was okay weather, so it's not like she's going to freeze to death overnight by staying outside. So
yes, for the rest of tonight it's still pleasant, although dark, but the villagers have lit braziers and torches, so any of the area within where the village is lit. It's only if you go outside the perimeter.
If there's a better view from the top floor of the inn, or even from the the roof of the inn, she would take that spot instead.
For sure. Yeah, let's have a look at the map. So you want a better view of what?
Just generally, I mean, she's trying. She's trying to get. She's trying to be ahead of the events, as it were. So, just taking general lookout across. Obviously, the main direction is the bridge, since we seem to be having people accuse. Accuse things of coming out from there.
The bridge has 2 torches on it, so that it's lit, so anyone crossing the bridge can be seen from a distance, although from the tavern it'll just be like a shadow. You won't be able to make out features per se. But the best viewpoint, you got 2 options. If you are happy to go to level 2, this tavern is higher than any of the other buildings in the village. So there's definitely shutters in, one of his bedroom, for example, we'll say, that looks directly to the bridge. Alternatively, you can climb onto the roof, and then you can have access 360 sort of degrees, but then requires a climb action to get up and get down, which is a might check.
Okay, let's do the thing I can't do, which is roll some dice and have her go onto the roof.
I'll give you a prepared bonus because there's no rush, so you can roll 2 dice and you need 1 success to climb onto the roof.
Could I help her climb up?
You can. Yeah, that's another thing actually that can be done, is a helping action. So for this, it doesn't matter because we've got 2 successes. But yeah, definitely before any of you roll, you can ask another character to help you, and then they can make a roll and tell me how they help you to get you a bonus dice. So that's definitely within the rules. But for now, Thud, you say, hey, maybe I can help you. But Hestava looks pretty nimble, as not only does she get up to the roof, she also gets a hero point for rolling her proficiency number. The tide has turned. Okay, you're on the roof. At the moment, you're looking towards the braziers lit over the bridge. All is quiet. There's no wind. There is a moon that's risen that gives you good light in general. So, you're not in full darkness, but you're in a good position to see, to spy upon the village. And what about you, Thud?
So, as the cleric is climbing up, I will tell her, hey, I have got an idea. How about we lure the creature to us? Hestava. What if we just taunt it to come towards us and see what it actually is? I mean, everyone's in the tavern, right? They're inside a sort of like a stone building, so they should be relatively safe. Unless it's a creature that's very, very large, then let's be honest, we're both dead anyways.
You definitely know that the tavern, especially Hestava, because she did a full walk around, the tavern is the strongest structure. It's the only structure made out of stone. It looks quite expensive to build.
Yes. What do you reckon?
Well, Hestava will explain to you that she thinks the first thing is just to collect information. Obviously, if we have to defend the village as well, that's what we're here for. But she'd like to know what on earth is going on, because at the moment she doesn't feel like we do.
Okay, just give me a shout if you do see something or do hear anything, and if you need it to get closer, I'll get the villagers riled up and start singing.
Where are you going to be, Bud? Like, where are you in all this?
Hestava agrees with you and says that she will bang her mace against her shield, if the since bells probably aren't an option.
Yes. What Thud is doing? Thud is basically, he's thrown a couple of silver coins, and he's trying to get everyone to drink to get their morale up.
Get them morale to do what? To do anything in particular? Or?
Yes, if Hestava does give me a signal, I'll get them all to start singing loudly. Something very aggressive, something from just to lure whatever it is to us. Or to taunt it, actually.
So you want the Because you don't know if the creature's going to be attracted to sound, you're assuming that making a ruckus will let it know that this is where the targets are, I guess.
Yes, and basically what we'll be doing something more of a like a it's not a challenging, but more for like we all cool with you, like we're not scared of you, sort of. So if it's got intelligence, it'll come towards us to say, someone's challenging me or someone's not afraid of me, let's go scare them. Or if it's attracted to sound, it'll come towards us.
Okay, so what happens in that case is that you don't need to roll, but I'll give you a roll just in case you get a hero point, because they pretty much follow your instruction. And one of them suggests if they can sing some of the hymns of confidence that are given to them through the blessings of their gods, Analda. So they start, one of them starts a hymn and the rest start a chorus. Is that okay if they do that? Not only to all make noise, but also to give them confidence?
Yes, you can sing this song for now, but when the time comes, I'll give you a song of my ancestors, and you can sing that instead, just to get your courage up, in case you have to fight.
That means you'll have to lead the song, and they'll have to mimic your words, because they don't really know the songs of your ancestors. But so for this point, you can make another roll if that eventuates. But for now, I'll give you a chance to roll just to muster how confident they are to attract the enemy. Let's say. So I'll give you 2 dice because you've had time to prepare. Yep. You need at least 1 success. Otherwise, their vocals are very
I've got a 6 and a 2.
Hey, all right. They start off very sheepish, only 1 or 2 of them, but you start joining in as well. And then Jorgren, sort of as the conductor, tells them to be a bit more bellowing. And you can hear Hestava on the roof, this chorus of a choir starts singing the praises of some god, giving them strength to deal with the threats and the challenges in life. As that's all occurring, breaking the silence in the night, the ground starts vibrating. First, it is just a small ripple in your glasses inside the tavern. On the roof, you don't notice as much of the initial vibrations. But then something almost as if, is it going to rain? You hear this rumble. And you realize the sound seems to be echoing not from the sky, but from the ground, as if a tremor. You peer, you can't ascertain where it's coming from. It seems like it's all around you at this point. What do you do in these initial sounds? The villagers at this point are still having their chorus. Because even though things are shaking, they have had 3 nights where this occurs. Jorgren points to the cup to show you, Thud, that it's happening. This thing is coming. So let's go with, we'll look at the turn order, but just for the fact of going 1 each. So this is not for combat, so we're not rolling for that. So Hestava, what do you want to do as you initially hear the thunder?
I think initially she'll do nothing. I mean, she's intrigued by the plan to feed the villagers to the monster by singing a lot, but she's singing. Right now, she's just information gathering. So no, there's no reason to react yet.
Okay, and what about you inside, Thud?
Can Thud feel the tremor?
Yes. Once it's pointed out with the glass, you start feeling it. Anything that isn't bolted down, like the shutters, they start rattling. Some of the cutlery, the leftovers in your plate, the bone starts bouncing around.
I see that, and before I run up to be with Hestava, I yell at everyone, start stomping your feet, start singing louder. And I do a few double leg stomps, and then I run up.
I'll get you to make another mind check. You get 2 dice. I'll still give you the bonus because you've had time to prepare this plan. Some of them stop when they see the tremors and more things shaking. You notice one stops, and then Jorgren starts looking fearful. When he stops, you see others stop and they start breaking down. They're still making the hymn, but it's not the thunderous sound of attraction they want. And Jorgren looks scared. that you're getting them lured here? It seems like
look
they've
at
lost
your
confidence with this plan.
You're green. You are the leader. Now is your chance to show them that you can lead. We will deal with whatever's outside. But
He
you
says,
have to have
my
confidence.
people cannot be bait. I will not
You
be
are
a
not
part of
bait.
it. As he says that, make a detect roll on the roof. Hestava, you get a bonus dice because you are prepared. You need at least one success. As you peer around, 2 successes, all of a sudden, Hestava's hitting the straps. Okay, you notice under the moonlight, heading from the direction of Drakemere, formerly known as Dankmere, a plume of dust, the likes of which would be from trailing of some large object cutting across the land. You see it a far distance from the bridge. So it seems to be moving very quick, as in the next round, it will be crossing this bridge where the trap is set. Do you want to do anything at this point? Way too far for you to have any engagement, but you could let the others know if you wanted to, or by calling out or otherwise. What do you wish to do?
Would she be able to determine if it's magical from in particular? I'm thinking of the reveal magic spell, but that's a touch spell.
It's a touch, yeah. The only thing, given the speed of it, you can't think of anything that would be moving that quick. You could use a hero point for insight if you want to waste it. No, not waste it if you want to use it. But it's definitely something large, moving quicker than something normally would. We'll say as fast as, bolting horses.
Okay.
You want to do anything, you get 1 free action before it hits the bridge.
In that case, she'll do what she agreed and warn attempt to warn the people down there by banging shield and mace together to create a sound.
Okay, you hear this thud from inside. The villagers have literally, only 1 or 2 of them are now singing the hymn, just really verbalizing it, the words, as you hear the thumping of the shield.
You're green. Prepare yourselves. Whatever it is very close.
They are now silent.
Yes.
As everything is shaking. Do you want to remain where you are?
I'm going to start climbing up towards Hestava, but before I do, I look at Yogrin and everyone. I said, there's only 2 of us over here to stand between you and whatever is out there.
They will nod.
If ever there was any will within you to fight, if ever there was any will within you to keep your way of life, to protect what is yours, now is the time to get yourselves ready.
Jorgren says, what would you have us do? We are not warriors.
I'm not asking you to fight. I'm asking you to have courage. You do not need to fight from inside this building, but whatever is out there may try and come in. So you better be ready to protect yourself.
Okay, there's fear in everyone's eyes now. Make a mind check. I'll still give you 2 because it's still part of your plan to keep them stoic.
I got a 6 and a 5.
Oh, how come the dice aren't showing on my thing? Oh, there it is. Oh, 6 and a 5. That's a hero point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, yes, I got one.
As you give them this last, when it seems like all hope is lost, and they say, it seems like they feel like, nah, this is a bad idea. Jorgren says, he stands up and he says, Enalda, the great god, has brought us these great heroes. One of them has already left. This shows that these 2 are the bravest of their kind. We must also show that we are brave Fairfielders. Fairfield! Fairfield! And they start cheering as you, all of a sudden, you turn the tables on them. The kids and the elderly, they hide in inside a trapdoor or something, and the others, they get ready, they stand tall, they start getting chairs, breaking things to use as clubs, and you realise, you know, there's 18 adults who can, 16, because 2 of them are outside. So there's 16 in there who, like, they all look ready. If something's going to come in, they're not going to go without a fight. And you sort of nod because you're, like, happy with that.
Yep.
All right, make a climbing roll to get on the roof.
Yep. So it's just a normal 1D or 2D?
Well, it's 1 dice. It's athletics. Have you got athletics?
Yes, I've got athletics.
Oh, 2 dice, and you can get up there this round. You only need 1 success to climb up there.
I've got a 6 and a 2.
That's 1 success. That's all you need. All right, Hestava, you are joined on the roof by Thud after hearing the battle cries rise with Fairfield, Fairfield. So you don't know what he's done, but they're ecstatic with what's happening down there. And you are both under the full moon. And right at this point, you see something cross this cloud of dust come into the light of the torches lit over the bridge, and you can both you know what I'll do? I'll say that Hestava can make a bonus dice detect, so 2 dice with mine, but Thud, as you've just gotten there, you get 1 dice, and it's a mind check.
Okay.
Hestava, 1 success.
I have a 2, so it's a failure.
No. Okay, you just see the cloud of smoke, Thud. You don't quite make out, but what you notice, Hestava, is what is causing this plume of smoke, dust trailing it. You see a 2-wheeled chariot, but nothing is pulling it. It is hurtling across the bridge, and aboard are 2 shapes. You can't quite make out with 1 success, you know, what they're carrying or what they're wearing. They're sort of shadowy figures, but you can also hear, as well as the wood rattling, you hear the sound of metal shaking like chains, etc. And you realize that these 2 figures are using chains that move into like nothing. So if you can imagine, there were horses there, these chains are tethered to nothing, but something is pulling this chariot magically, supernaturally across the land, and also it seems not touching the ground. Having said that, so it's essentially above the ground, but it's still such a sound, a furious, relentless motion that it's causing this thunderous rattling that shakes Fairfield. But it is enough to set the traps off. Roll a d6 as the blades, you see the blades fly off the springs towards the chariot. The higher the better. Hestava?
I'll let Thud do it.
Thud, roll a d6. You want a 6.
Oh, dear Lord. All right, here goes. Fingers crossed, everyone. Hey!
Whoa! Okay, you noticed these blades fly and hit all of the occupants. So none of them hit the chariot or whatever's getting pulled. Just by the luck of the gods, all 6 blades hit these 2 targets. Roll me another d6, and that's how many hit the first target, and then the remainder will hit the second target. I'm just breaking up that d6 between 2.
You want to roll this one, Hestava?
No. Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this one doesn't really matter. It's just the split. So 1 is... Okay, so 5 hit 1 and 1 on the other. Okay. Wow. Damn. If only Hank could have seen that happen. All right. As the... we'll call it the bone chariot, I'll say. As it rattles past the bridge, it thunders towards number 2, okay, which is the Smithy's area. So what that's basically saying is, it's in one action will get to 2, and if it continues, in the next action it will get to the tavern, if indeed, you know, your ploy is correct. So you both get a free action here as the trap goes off, and you see the blades get lodged into the... Well, you don't, Thud. You just see the blades disappear into the dust. But Hestava, you actually see the blades, the glimmer under the moonlight. They're stuck into these two chariot drivers. What do you want to do?
No screaming?
No. You don't hear anything apart from the thunderous rattle of wood and metal tearing through the into the village.
Okay, well, he hasn't got a missile weapon of any sort, so I guess she will. But the thundering is a massive noise, right?
Oh yeah, it's rattling everything as it comes through. The whole bridge seems like nearly to collapse.
Yeah, so I think she'll try to head downstairs.
Okay, you need
to wait.
So, because we're doing action by action, if you can either prepare, which means you won't go down this round, you'll try and find a safe way down, or when you'll get a bonus dice next round, or you can just roll one dice to try to, go shimmy down across the, to get down this round. But it's a might check. You only get one dice unless you haven't got athletics. Blue. What would you like to do?
Sorry. I don't know if maybe the push talk didn't work. I said I was going. So I rolled one die.
Yep.
And I rolled a 5.
Okay, so that's a fail. So as you were trying to make your way down the side, you lose your grip. But I'll say simultaneously, what are you doing, Thud?
So the chariot, the dust and all is heading towards number 2?
Correct.
Yes. Is there any way for me to jump down from where I am safely? Because I think the stables are just beside it, right?
Yes.
To sort of get to Freddy?
Well, you could definitely rappel down. You see that Hestava is trying to get down one side. It's a might roll, and you've got athletics, so you'll get 2 dice to get down there this action.
Okay. I'm going to yell at Hestava. Hestava, I'm going to get Freddy.
You see Hestava's hand on the side, and then you see Hestava's hand release and a thump at the bottom of the ground. Hestava, you get 1 point damage as you land with a thud falling from the roof. You can choose which side of the building you want, the side facing the road or the stables or the back of the tavern.
Yep.
I think it would have been just at the stable side, because it would have been towards the. But since she failed and you've asserted she's taken damage, has she fallen from like the entire 2 floors, or has she fallen onto the roof of the stable?
What would you prefer? Were you climbing towards the roof?
Does the stable even have a roof, actually? But
yeah, looks like it does. Do you want to fall on the stable, as in that means you're trying to climb down that side, or do you want to fall into the pen? It's 1 damage either way. It's up to you where you want to be.
Let's say it's mildly more amusing if we have her fall into the pen.
Well, the chickens all fly around. Okay, you fall into the pen, and you Thud. You rappel down. You're also in this, essentially right near the entry of the stable, but Hestava gets down there quicker.
Yep.
So yeah, subtract 1 point from your stamina. Now you're both in the essentially you can get into the stables. So your action was to climb or fall in the case of Esther, and then your move action is you want to get into the stables where the horses are.
Freddy, yep.
And Freddy?
I'm going after Freddy.
Yep. And what about you, Hestava? You want to remain in the pen out in the open under the moon, or do you want to move into the stable?
No, she's heading towards number 2 / the Chariot.
Oh, okay, no worries. You start making a run across to the Redsmith's building. Yep, you jump the little fence. Okay, you're heading towards there. Simultaneously, the Chariot is thundering in the direction of... I mean, you've lost sight of it, but you can see the big plume of smoke, and the nightmarish rattle is so loud. All right, what we'll do is we're going to redo turn order, this time with including the Chariot. So what I'll get you to both do is reroll your turn order. which is 6 dice.
Okay.
My brain's gone. My brain's having a fart. Where's the turn? Where is the turn order? I remember
you
it.
can
but I
just
can't-
roll. Yeah, there's in the notes. There's a turn order note, or you can just click 6 dice in the dice roller.
I was staring at the list of campaign notes and I still couldn't see it. Okay.
23 is good, Thud. Okay, this is where the numbers will determine the order. So you got 23 and 5, so you'll go ahead. So I'll just do start was 23.4. And you can type in 23.5, Hestava, for you. And then Thud, you can roll for the Bone Chariot, and Hestava, you can roll for the Villagers. Turn order. Let's see where they end up.
Okay.
So Thud's rolling for the Chariot.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
a good-
no!
24 with the first dice, 6.
That's no good. And you can roll for the Villagers, Hestava. You can punch that number in the turn order. Wow, all high numbers. Okay, so at this point, you can use a hero point to re-roll your turn order if you think you want to do that to try and beat the numbers. They're pretty high though. Do you want to, either you want to use a hero point to re-roll, or happy with your order?
I would probably re-roll the Bone Chariot.
You can't re-roll the enemies. You can only re-roll yourself.
Oh, not then I'm good. I'm good.
Yep. Hestava?
That would cost a hero point to reroll, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not do it. No, I'm. Yeah.
As
keep it.
is. Yep. All right. I was going to move this over here so I can see it. All right. The Bone Chariot. As you're running, Hestava, the Bone Chariot swings around building 2 in your direction. Its speed is almost lightning, so you can imagine that as you were jumping down, or as you fell down, you landed in the pen, and you would have known it was already thundering towards building 2, but by the time you've jumped that fence and start running to building 2, you happen to be in between both buildings. You haven't quite made it there, and with the turn order, this thing has arrived and spins around the corner. As it turns towards you, you see this. You get to see it in much better detail. And I'll describe it, but I'll put the picture in here first for you to see. It loads. Where is it? Oh God, I went down there. Okay, you see that, and I'll describe it just as you do see it. You realise this 2-wheeled chariot is constructed of wood, but also pieces of bronze, and it's also draped in thick strands of weed that hurdles behind it as it moves towards you. You also notice, even at the distance, it looked like nothing was pulling it, but as it approaches you, you realise there are vague, almost ethereal pair of horse-like shapes that seem to be pulling the chariot. The chains seem to be tethered to these horses. And they look like they're made of bronze. On top of the chariot, 2 skeletons. One is a driver whipping it with is it a chain whip? Not sure what it's whipping with, but and the other one has a helmet and seems to be a passenger. They're not making any sound, so the only sound is coming from the furious rattle of the actual chariot itself. Oh, and their bones and the chain are also rattling. You do notice, though, the skeletons they look like soldiers.
Do they look like soldiers of the Red Empire?
You've only heard of the Lunar Empire, Oh, actually, I'll give you a reaction mind roll. Now, a reaction means you don't get a hero point for it. It just is a mind roll to know if you know things about history and stuff. So I'll give you that roll. Just make a mind roll.
And that would be 1D. Yes?
Just 1D, yeah. as I said, it's not a hero point roll, it's just like a... Yeah, so, okay, you have heard that in this area, well, it was once controlled by the Lunar Empire, and you remember seeing a picture or something, and they were dressed here with red draped, what do you call it? Red draped capes. And red plume out of the helmet. So yes, you know. And that corresponds with what Thud told you about a warrior being slain. Okay, all right, now we get serious as this rattles towards you. Now, in Age of Adventure, you've got two options because this thing's upon you. It looks like it's going to run you down. You've got the option of blocking, which means standing your ground, putting a shield between you and the oncoming, and if you succeed a like a defensive roll, it'll -1 damage from whatever hits you, or you can try to dodge it. A dodge is a might roll, but you don't get a bonus for the shield because the shield gives you a bonus to block. So you can either choose to dodge or block this chariot.
The chariot's real, though, right?
Looks
The
like
horse
it.
is
Well,
armed.
you're hoping it isn't, but it looks like it is. It's lifting up the ground, like rocks and dust are getting thrown up as it hurtles around. The horses, I mean, nothing's making any sound, not neighing, but you can see that they're sort of the ghostly shapes of horses.
Yeah, standing there and trying to block a wagon, a chariot like this doesn't seem like something most sane people would do. So,
Okay,
dodging
so
does definitely.
dodging
seem like
is only one dice. Remember, only 2 successes is a guaranteed success. So if this is a hard encounter, even a dodge won't get out of its way unless you're happy to burn a hero point and roll 2 dice. But it is a might check, so you need 3 or under. Currently,
If she
got
only
one
gets
dice.
one, if she
To
only
dodge.
she only gets 1 success.
It may not be enough because you don't know how difficult this encounter is. After I let you know, you'll know whether it's a standard or hard. Yeah, probably wise.
Okay, hero point spent.
Let's go. You need at least 1 success. 2 successes guaranteed. That's 1 success. So you've got the option of...
If she re-rolls, does that rewrite both rolls?
Correct.
Or
Yes,
does it?
both.
Okay. No, I don't fancy her chances of getting 2 successes. So okay.
Okay, no worries. Roll a d6, and this is the type of attack that gets thrown upon you. It's a random roll. This is just to see what happens. So just roll a d6 for me. 2. It collides straight into you. Straight away, you try to do a roll, like a dodge to get out of the way, but this thing rolls over you. Not only the force of the chariot, but also the wheels are spinning, and your body gets hit by the chariot, and then the wheel rolls over you to, create further dismay to your body. And you straight away think back to Viborna saying it was like they were trampled by something or thrown by a giant, and you feel this collision impact you for 2 points of damage.
Okay.
Which I think brings you down to 1 point. And just so you know,
Correct.
in Age of Adventure, 0 means you're dying and someone has to give you aid, like you incapacitate and die. -1 means you're dead. So in theory, if you were on 1 and you got hit now, you would have just been crushed and killed. But you're on 1 point. It rolls over you, and that's its turn. As it rolls over you, it continues its movement south, heading in the direction of the burial ground. As we go to the next person in the turn, you hear a thud, bang. And you can call out something if you wish, because speaking is free. So if there's something you want to yell out, Hestava, because Thud went into the stable, he didn't see it.
I just yell out, Hestava! Cleric, are you okay?
I think she'll call back that it's heading towards the graveyard.
She doesn't sound very strong in her callback. But,
No.
Okay, who's next in the turn order? So that was the Chariot. Hestava, you are next as you see this thing. Now, it is still in range. It's a far distance away from you, but because the villagers have lit the braziers and all that, you can see it.
Is it my turn or?
No, I think in the turn order is Hestava. because defending is a reaction. It's not an actual action.
Okay.
So you'll notice in the turn order, I've ticked the Bone Chariot. It means it's had its turn. Hestava is next.
Okay. I think she'll move towards number 2,
Yeah.
primarily to try and get to a point where she doesn't have to. Where the Chariot, in theory, should find it more difficult to kind of run her over again. She'll bang. She'll bang. You'll have to let me know how much is achievable. So basic idea is close in on the building number 2.
Yeah, moving
towards
is a
the door.
free action, so you are at the building. There is a door.
Bang on the door, but also there's a heal process that she could probably benefit from at this point.
Yeah, so you haven't done any action at the moment. As you move closer to the Redsmith's workshop, you notice, as well as there being a section which is like a building where it has a door, there is also an open area that you can actually go in without using a door, and you see fire is burning within there. So you can either head to the door, or you can just head into the garage sort of thing where the workshop is.
Second one. If I don't know if it's possible that she might attempt to heal herself.
100%, yes, because movement's a free action. So as you move in, the first person you see is your old mate, Viborna. And she says, Hestava, are you okay? And she comes to your aid straight away, as you know, you've got broken bones, your ribs, you know, you've basically been run over. She says, you survived the attack. What is it? She's like, as well as trying to help you, she's asking questions like, what is the creature?
Hestava will explain, just say, undead with a chariot, and she'll collapse. And actually, because I think it also makes sense, you should probably prepare the heal rather than do the heal.
Oh, okay. No worries. Yeah. You've got a bonus next roll. All right. As you do that, as soon as you mention undead, her eyes well, you can only see one eye because she carefully drapes half of her hair across her face. So one eye opens up wide. But then when you say chariot, her immediately, instinctively, her hand goes to the hilt of her sword that you saw her with. And she says, what does she say? She definitely says something. She doesn't hesitate saying this, I'll say that much. I just can't find what she said. She basically makes some comment to the thing of, it is back. We thought we got rid of the Lunar Warrior, but it has come back to haunt us. We have brought this upon ourselves. So she says something to that effect, as well as grasping this weapon that looks quite unique. All right, you are in her arms as you prepare, you start conjuring, and to conjure your spell, you need to grasp your holy item, which I'm sure you have marked ready to use as we go to Thud.
Okay, it's my turn now.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't seen Hestava get rolled over, right? Basically,
no,
run over.
you've just gone into the stable. You hear this massive crash, and Hestava calls out that it's heading towards the graveyard. But inside, cowering in between the horses, is your old mate.
Old.
Orvald, yes.
Oval, yep. So I rush towards Freddy and yell out at Oval. Oval! It's heading towards the burial grounds.
What do you want me to do? I'm not a warrior.
I don't want you to fight. Stay here with the horses. I'll let everyone in the tavern know that it's heading towards the burial ground.
Yeah, they're all chanting,
I don't know
Fairfield will not yield. Fairfield will not yield.
I'll call on the aid. I don't think I'd be able to handle this alone. If you have it in you, can you please go and check on my companion, Hestava?
Where is
She
she?
seemed like she got hurt. She was heading towards Bovina's. I'm sorry, I forgot the name.
Viborna's, yeah, the Redsmith. Okay,
Yeah,
make
the
a...
Red Smith.
So your action is you're trying to get Orville to leave the horses and head to the Redsmith.
Yes. Can you give her aid? I think she needs it.
I am not a doctor.
You don't need to be a doctor. Just go help her with what she needs. She can take care of herself.
Okay, make a mind roll.
Just one dice.
Well, I can't see why you would have an extra one unless...
Yep.
I mean, his plan was always just to stay there. Now you're telling him to get out. So there you go.
Oh, now I got a one.
He just shakes his head. He points to his leg. Don't forget I'm a cripple. He played the cripple card on you, unfortunately.
Yep. I should have just called at him to say,
That completes your action, so you can only do a movement if you want. Or you can get Freddy to do something.
So actually, I'm calling Freddy to sort of just mentioning towards Freddy, so just make a sound.
Yep.
So for him to follow, and then we run towards the tavern.
Okay, you're right next to the tavern, so you can easily get in there, and Freddy can come with you, but Freddy's going to struggle to fit through the door to get into this tavern.
We're not going in. I'm just banging on the door. So I'll end my action there. I'm just banging on the door.
Okay, we'll say you're banging on the side door, like the side entrance, because the front door's trapped.
Oh, yep, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You bang on the side door. Do you want to call anything or say anything?
Probably just I'll yell out, Fairfielders, I need you.
Oh,
that's my...
Okay, spurring them to action. All right. So who's next in the turn order? Let's have a look. That's you. Okay, it's the villagers. You can make a... Actually, just roll a d6 for the villagers. The lower you roll, the better. As you say, I need you, I need you. You hear the chanting continues, but you hear Jorgren say, "What do you need, Thud?"
I need you to follow me to the burial grounds. They're headed that way. We can finish this once and for all.
You hear the chanting continue, and you hear a lock go on the door. Help us, Thud! They don't come out.
Cowards! I sort of start heading towards the burial ground.
We said Fairfielders never yield, not Fairfielders and barbarians. All right, that's all you can really do as you thud on and you realise they locked the door on you. How rude. All right, so we go back to the bone chariot, and I'm going to say that because we're only playing for another 40 odd minutes, okay, the bone chariot disappears in the direction of the burial ground, and you lose sight of it, but the whole village is still trembling. It is clear that it hasn't left the vicinity. You hear something crash and smash as if it's just plowing through something, perhaps one of the buildings, and then another crash and smash. So you're not sure what's happening, but it sounds like it's causing massive destruction to at least 2 structures. As we go to Hestava, what do you wish to do? Oh, you were doing a heal, weren't you? You can roll 2 dice. You need 1 success. It's a spell. And if you roll 3, you get a hero point.
And if they both fail?
You don't heal anything. And if one is a 1, you drain a point, which means you'll go to unconsciousness. You can't die from spell drain. So you need 1 success and 1 3. 2 successes. You heal 1 point in this round. What does your healing magic look like as you cast it on yourself?
I hadn't thought that far.
Okay, you cast heal.
Yeah.
That's fine. You murmur a spell and you see some of your wounds knit up, and Viborna is saying, she says something to the gods. The gods brought the adventurers. You are obviously she mentions, you are a messenger of Orlanth. Or he's the patron of warriors. What do you ask of me? She's almost in awe that she's seen healing powers restore some of your cracked and broken, your arm was broken and cracks into place, and some of the cuts knit up. What do you ask of me, messenger of Orlanth? And as she does that, she takes out the sword. And one thing you notice about this sword, it has this she takes it out of the sheath. It's a bronze sword, and it has a red emblazoned motif on it. It looks similar. It looks like a picture of a helmet, and it's red.
So that belonged to the soldier you killed?
She says yes. I took it from his dead body, and I will send him back to the grave, undead or not.
Look for Thud.
You want to send her out?
No, she's telling her to look for him. The phrase that the effect in my head was to kind of open the door and look to see where Thud is.
Very well.
Because she's kind of expecting Thud to run towards.
Yeah.
Danger.
All right. She moves away from you. She doesn't want to leave your side, but she takes the sword and she says, "Do you want me to give it to your barbarian friend?"
No, we'll go together.
Okay, you just want her to get Thud to join up.
No, well, to look for him. To basically, I was expecting she looks out the door and sees Thud running, and she can tell Hestava what Thud's doing.
I see him. He is banging on the door of the tavern. Do you want me to call him?
Trying to. Yes.
Thud, Hestava is here. She is injured. You hear that call out at the same time as you hear the lock on the door, and it's your turn, Thud.
Yep. How bad is she?
The gods are looking after her wounds. I thought she was going to pass in my arms and be the fourth target of this monster. He'd head towards the graveyard.
Can she walk?
She looks back at you. Can you walk? Which you can.
Okay, Hestava will stand.
Yes!
And
the gods, she has risen from the dead. It is a miracle. Praise Orlanth.
They're headed towards the burial grounds. We should go there.
All right, you see that she's armed with a sword, a bronze sword, and it's your move, Thud. So what do you want to do?
I'm going towards the burial ground. You and Hestava. Come. We shall end this tonight.
So you've got two options, Thud. You can not go this round and go together next round, or you can actually, because the next round is the villagers, so you can either go together with Viborna, but not Hestava, because she's still is effectively healing herself from the spell in this round, or you can wait a round and do it all together next round.
So listening to the damage happening around me from this chariot,
Mm.
How serious does it look? Does it look to be headed towards the burial ground, or are they within the town just damaging all infrastructure?
As you look south, because that's when you last heard that was heading, you see the plume of dust from where it was going, because you haven't seen it yet. And you see, I'll just say that you happen to see one of the buildings, say the southern one, not where the burial ground is, but the southernmost building that's shaped as an L. You see part of the roof collapses. And you hear a crash, and then you hear another crash as the building closer, you see that roof collapses.
Okay. So if I do chase the sound now, the noise, it'll take Hestava and Bovena 2 rounds to get to me, or 1 round still?
Viborna moves the next round, so she can come with you now. So you could go with Viborna, but Hestava can't. Well, she won't finish healing until the end of this round, so you'll already be gone if you run now. But she's indoors.
Okay.
She's inside the smith workshop.
You can go.
Yes, so that's what I'll say. Come with me. Let Hestava heal, and then she'll join us later. We need to stop this now.
Viborna says, "You have my sword. I fear that I have caused this grief upon our village, so I will fight to the end." And she
Explain it to me as we run.
All right, you both run in the direction of the collapsing buildings, essentially.
Yep.
And as you are running there, you need to make this is a reaction roll, okay? Because you're running across the ground directly in the direction of where it's coming. Make a mind roll, and I'm going to say that your roll is also Viborna's. Actually, I'll give you this. Roll a d6. If you roll a 1, Viborna actually gives you this information. She sees it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm just going to rely on you.
I got a 6.
No. All right, so it's going to rely on you. It's a mind check. You only need 1 success. Otherwise, you're surprised because the Bone Chariot gets the next move. So as you run there, make a mind check. You need to get 5 or more.
5 or more. Come on, dice.
This is a big roll.
Oh, dear Lord, I got a 1.
No, the opposite. Do you want to use a hero point? Otherwise, you're moving in that direction, but you don't get to it.
I will use a hero point. Yes, I'll reroll.
You need to get 5 or more.
Come on, dice. Hey, I got a 6.
Well done. All right, on your turn, as you are heading south with Viborna, looking for this chariot, you see it. It bursts through the building, okay, coming towards you, but it doesn't surprise you. We'll say that you notice some of the wall collapse before it emerges, which, you gets your attention, which means you get to act before it. So I'm going to untick you and Viborna. You both get an action, and you see that chariot that I described before, pulled by ethereal type horses charging directly towards you, but you get the first action at it. What do you wish to do? Oh, also, it has blades in it. And I'm going to say that one of the skeletons is limp. So the chains that are actually pulling the chariot are also chained to these skeletons as if they can't leave this chariot. So someone or something has chained these skeletons to the chariot. Viborna says, "That is Belaros. We chained both him and his assistant's body to the chariot and she tells you this very quickly, and threw it into the lake. It has come back to haunt us." So basically one of the skeletons has been taken out by the blades, leaving only one skeleton charging towards you in the chariot, and it already has 1 point of damage to it.
So it's my turn now?
Yes. You happen to be able to see all this and get this information by Viborna as this bursts through one of the buildings, such as its power. And I will tell you, you're between the stone tavern and the building it's just collapsed.
Ooh, so they're coming for the tavern next?
It looks like it's going in that direction.
Okay, I will try and stop, at least get one of the skeletons. You mean to tell me, so this is just talking, my action would be I'm going to try and hit the wheels of the chariot, sort of break the wheels?
Well, I'll let you know, the wheels are spinning, but the vehicle, the chariot itself, isn't touching the ground. So it's being drawn by some supernatural force. Could be the ethereal horses that are pulling it, but the driver is incapacitated. The skeleton's just bouncing around. It's got all the blades sticking in it. But the other passenger with the plumed helmet, it's not saying anything, but it's like got its mouth agape as if it's trying to roar something at you.
So does that one look alive, or is it also...
No, it's alive. It's alive. It's got a blade in it. But this is supernatural. Right. For all intents and purposes, damaging any of this could be damaging it in its entirety. You don't know.
Okay, so I'll say something to Bovina, and then I'll take a swing at the skeleton that sort of seems to be yelling something.
Yeah. Okay. What weapon have you got?
Yeah. So I've got my two-handed axe with me at the moment.
Oh, you're skilled in that, aren't you?
Yes.
Damn, okay, and that does 2 points damage. All right, roll. You need 2 successes to hit it. So you need both dice 5 or under. Let's go.
So I've got 1 hero point. Can I use it and make it 0 and roll 2 dice?
You've got 2 options with that. You've got 2 dice at the moment. You can use a hero point to roll 3 dice, or you can just have the 2 dice, and if you're successful, you can use that hero point to inflict an extra point of damage. So you can either use the hero point now to roll 3 dice to have a better chance of getting 2 successes, or you can just hope that you hit with the 2 and then use the hero point to inflict an extra point.
I'll take a risk. I'll roll 2 dice and then roll the other one for extra damage.
All right, let's just make sure you hit first. Let's go. Let's go. Nice.
Hey, I got a 4 and a 2.
All right, 2 points damage. Smash into this skeleton. So it's on 3 points of damage. You know, almost metagaming, 5 points of damage to that other skeleton and it's out. So this is at 3. Tell me how do you hit it? What sort of combat maneuver do you do? What does it look like to Viborna?
So basically, I take off my axe from my back, raise it, start swinging it above my head, and yell out, "I am Thud, Grub Eater!" As the chariot comes towards me, I step to the side and just make a side slashing motion.
Bang!
With everything that I've got.
You see bits of skeleton frame fly in the air as this creature sort of gets dismembered by the blade as it cuts through the brittle bone, smashes a portion of its body away. Did you want to use a hero point to do an extra point or keep it for other purposes?
So is it still alive?
It is.
Is it? I'll do more damage. I'll just use up all my hero points.
Okay.
Extra bit of
you
damage.
use that. How many hero points do you got?
I've gone down to 0 now.
Okay, you use your last hero point to inflict even greater damage. And with that, you realize not only does your blade cut through its sternum and take its collarbone sort of flies up, one of its arms sort of flails, you then bring the blade back across its neck and you realize it's enough to sever its neck, and its head lollies as you crack into it. And you can tell me how you finish it off.
So as I swing the second round above my head and another side swashing motion, I sort of lop off its head, which flies off into the air, sort of like stationary directly upwards, and falls to my feet when I just lift my feet up and smash the skeleton and the helmet with it, just crush it to the ground.
The skeleton, not much is remaining apart from the chain tethered to the chariot, but the rest of the skeleton bones fly in the air, and as they land off onto the ground, you realize they just turn into dust as the magic of the years, it dissipates from it and puts it to bed. Simultaneously, Viborna strikes down with her curved bronze sword. You can roll a d6, Thud. She has a 1 in 6 chance of being able to inflict even extra damage. You can choose a number if you want.
I just rolled a 6. It's too much, too high.
Oh, it was okay, because the number was 1. I thought you said you called a 6 then. And thirdly, did you want to get Freddy to do anything?
Freddy.
Because Freddy acts on your turn, and he came with you.
So what's remaining to happen? Is the chariot still going?
Yeah, because you haven't finished your attack, but at this point, it doesn't have any skeleton commanders. But It seems like the horses, right at this point, are still pulling it, and the wheels are still turning, and the chariot is still intact. You don't know what's going to happen on its turn, so
I will ask Freddy to jump on the chariot itself to see if he can crush it.
Oh, okay. It's a large creature with leaping. Roll 2d6. You need one of them to be a 1, and it successfully leap on top.
Nah, I got a 3 and a 6.
You don't have any hero points to use there. All right, it makes a leap, but unfortunately, as it leaps, the chariot already passes through. But just in dramatic narration, as Vesta, moves towards the exit of the Red Smith to look towards what's happening. She sees what you do to it. She sees Viborna take a slash at maybe one of the horses, but the curved blade just cuts through the air. She sees Freddy do a giant leap towards it, but the chariot's already passed. It manages to land on some of the bone that is turning to ash. But without being able to be steered, the chariot runs straight into the stone wall of Fairfield, because this is the chariot's turn now. It isn't able to veer its course, and it crashes into the wall. And now I'm going to get Hestava to make this roll. It's a pretty big roll, Hestava. On a D6, the chariot has the same strength as the wall. So it's 50-50 chance that it can actually break through it. You can choose 1 to 3. I would just say a 1 to 3, it doesn't break through. It explodes, and you can describe it. 4 to 6, it punches through the stone wall.
Yeah, screw them. They didn't help me.
So it's a win-win either way.
Yeah.
You got your wish.
Okay, as you get rid of the riders, the chariot still continues on its trajectory. It punches through the wall. Fairfield will not yield. Roll D6, because that's how many of the villagers get rolled over. You can roll it, Hestava, because you've already done good damage to let it through. Oh my god. Massacre. It rolls over 5, killing them instantly because they all have 1 stamina. It rolls over 5, and Hestava, it has a 1 in 3 chance of being able to burst out the other side. So 1 in 3, it doesn't go. So 1 to 3, it doesn't burst through. 4 to 6, it explodes as it hits the other wall. Hang on, what did I just say? 1 to 3. Oh, so 4. So it does go through. Does go through, isn't it? I mixed up my terminology. 1 to 3 was it doesn't. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to say that it was the same as the first wall, because I think the first wall we said 1 to 3 it didn't get through, and 4 to 6 it did. And in this case, you've rolled. So yeah, I'm going to say that. However, guess what it does run into? Hank's trap. Roll D6, and I'll tell you, the chariot hasn't had any damage, but it needs 3 points to be disabled. So if you can roll 3 or higher on a D6, Hank's trap finishes off the chariot. Hank from the grave. All right. So you can narrate, Hestava, what happens as it punches through the main doors of the New Stone Tavern, leaving a blood.
You mean after it's been shredding limbs from bodies?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it has had a path of destruction of 5 dead, but the trap at the end finishes it off. So you can describe how the chariot is finally put to rest.
I think it whatever Hank set to fly into the target does, but just kind of almost passes through, and maybe hits ceilings and walls, but the energy of the chariot just sort of starts to fade, and the chariot falls apart as it continues to career through and out the other side, and just bits of chariot are falling off of it as it slowly careens to a halt and then disappears.
I love it. With that dispensed, the chariot frame still remains, but immediately the bronze tarnishes, rusts, and the wheels just, well, they don't disappear, but we'll say that they break off from the axle and one just spins down. There is a sort of small cheer from inside of the remaining villagers as they see that, and then the cries of terror as they turn back to their loved ones to realize they've also been, their crumpled, crushed bodies have been reeled over. And they look through the hole on the other side, and as they look through that hole, they see standing there Thud, Viborna, and Freddy. And even though there's much horror and sadness that they've lost another 5 villagers, Jorgren just nods, knowing that he's part of the reason that this terror returned to Fairfield. Let's go and give everyone one more round before we wrap it up. Hestava, you've seen this unfold from the Red Smith building. What do you want to do or say?
Hestava walks out of the red building and over towards the town leader and says, "You and the others brought this curse on the village." And as she walks into the light, saying this, they'll notice that her cloak has turned grey and she's grown a beard.
Oh, I see the picture. I've got to share that. Hang on. Can you share that in here? Can you save it and drag it into the screen? Because you can drag images into Quest Portal. Oh, I might be able to do it.
And that is how her magic exhibits when she casts a spell. Her cloak takes on the color of the grey lords, and she grows a beard because of the god she chooses to worship.
Oh my god, that's awesome! I'll see if I can get it in there.
And yeah, but the primary point is she accuses him of, in front of all of the other villages, of bringing this down upon the village.
Both Viborna and Orvald stand side by side with him in judgment of their peers and admit their crimes. They come clean and say, yes, we only did it because we didn't want them to do any other terror upon this village, but we see that we have caused only greater death and destruction. There they are there, 3 hapless villagers. I wasn't able to save your one. I think I saw. Oh no, there it is. Found it. Put that there.
I can't see upload. Sorry, I was trying, but I can't see it.
I found it. Here it is. Get ready for Grey Hestava. Oh! There we go. All right. So they stand in judgment of their peers, but you notice, like, as the villagers are too busy mourning over the other deaths to really deal with it now, but they praise the gods, and Viborna says that this one, Hestava the Grey, is a servant and messenger of Orlanth. All praise, Hestava! I saw the wounds knit. The gods are blessed and real. And they give you thanks to the gods for sending you, as then they turn towards Thud.
Thud is very, very angry at them because they did not help him. So Thud says,
They lock the door.
evil or not, everyone deserves a good burial. You did not bury the corpses properly, thus you brought this curse upon yourselves. Tomorrow, I look at Jorgren, you will gather people, you will take the bodies out of the river, and you will give them a proper burial. Yes?
He says, I'm ashamed, and Viborna says, I too am ashamed, for I blame the ducks, but we are the ones who put that into the lake. Who knows what terrors have been enacted upon them? We shall go and make peace with them. We will give them offerings. And Jorgren explains how he also, when he slew Belaros, the tyrant who came and deafened him in one ear, Viborna took his sword, Orvald took the 2 horses that pulled his chariot, and Jorgren took his ancient coin, these coins that he then later used to build his tavern, and that is why he's in such impeccable condition. Well, it was. It's a bit airier now, but he says, I will not use any of the village coffers. I will rebuild this with my own hand and toil. For I am now a humble servant of Fairfield and Ernalda, the god of farmers. But I will also accompany Viborna to Drakemere. We will no longer call it Dankmere, it is Drakemere. And Orvald, he doesn't say anything, but, he acknowledges with you, Thud, that he did tell you. He did end up coming clean, so he feels a bit, less to bear for what's happened, but he's a bit of the weaker one when it comes to those three. He pats Freddy. I like your steed. With that...
Joe Green, it is good that you say you will build this with your own two hands. For it is your lies that caused my companion, Hestava, to get injured. So all of you owe us coin. I will not ask for much, but give me whatever's in your pocket. And I brandish my axe. Screw him, that didn't hurt me.
He says, we will need... He looks at you straight away, Hestava, and Viborna does too. Surely you do not seek to rob us. We will need all of our savings to rebuild our lives.
I am not robbing you. I'm just asking...
Hestava will put her hand on your arm and try to push your arm down and say, we are not the Goblin.
But they didn't come to help us. At least if one of them would have stepped out.
That doesn't matter. We walk our path. They walk theirs.
The wise words of the cleric. Viborna comes to you as well, okay? Comes to you, Thud, and says, brave barbarian, I pledge you this sword. I stood by your side. I was prepared to die for the heart of Fairfield, but I do not deserve this weapon. Offers it up to you in return for Yorgren not having to spend any of his savings. This was never mine. It is now yours.
I will accept this. Thank you.
You can put down it's a one-handed sword, bronze sword of whatever they're called, of the Lunar Empire.
Yep.
And they say, Orvald says to you, Hestava, an agent of the gods, I too do not deserve these steeds. Yes, they are old, but they will still be of value not only to help you transport, but also carry your items on further adventures. And he goes to the stables and brings out the two Lunar Empire horses, fine steeds. They'll fetch quite a coin. Actually, I'll tell you what the worth is. You first of all, for Thud, that sword you can put in brackets is worth 3 plus 1d gold pieces if you did want to sell it.
Ooh.
And you have 2 Lunar Empire horses, Hestava. They don't get added to your equipment, but if you have a look at, you don't have to worry about this now, but if you have a look at Thud's sheet, you'll see he has an extra tab for Freddy.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, you'll also get a tab for these Lunar Empire horses, so you can actually keep them or whatever. But for now, under your equipment, you just make a note somewhere or put them wherever you want. You have got 2 Lunar Empire horses, and they are worth 6 gold pieces each if you wanted to sell them. Now, that all being said, I'm going to get I'll get Hestava because it's your first Age of Adventure. There is a 1 in 6 chance that at the end of an adventure, one of you are also given an artifact or accomplish a goal. So I'll ask you, Hestava, to choose a number between 1 and 6, roll the dice, and we'll see if there is greater glory to be had after the Rattling Wind.
Is there any way I can help her?
This is just a random 1 in 6 chance.
Yeah. Let's say 4.
Let's go. All right. Eventually you return. I'll give you a chance to do your epilogues, but you return back, leaving Fairfield to their devices to rebuild and also make peace. They give you their word they will make peace with the ducks. Hopefully Darwin will be they're going to offer gifts and that sort of stuff. Make peace because they disturbed the tragedy they did in the lake. So you leave them as they start to rebuild the destruction and begin the ceremony to cremate the bodies of the further slain. It's taken a great toll on them, and obviously the 3 culprits devoting their lives to rebuilding and serving Fairfield. And when you return, you both receive 6 plus 2d gold pieces in payment from the guild, hearing that you've saved the village. So you can all roll that individually, roll 2 dice and add 6, and that's how many gold pieces you get in payment for your individual contracts. Not bad. So 15 gold pieces for Hestava of the Hidden Diagram. You can add that to your gold purse. And 13 gold pieces to Thud the Orc Barbarian. And with that, I will let you do your epilogues to conclude tonight and this adventure, starting with Thud the Orc Barbarian.
So epilogue, I'm talking to Hestava?
Mm-hmm.
Or just... No, okay.
Just you're narrating however you see, whatever you see happening for Thud in the next couple of days or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It can be speaking to
basically-
Hestava. That's fine if you want that to be your epilogue.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. So I'm riding Freddy alongside Hestava, headed towards the guild. And you can see me being very bitter. I spit onto the ground and say, I tried to encourage them. I tried to make them feel strong. I didn't expect them to be heroes. I didn't expect them to be warriors, but they should have come out and helped us.
Wow, you're keeping that grudge close to your chest.
Yep. I mean, to think I shared my spices with them. I showed them how to make food good, meat good. And them, they didn't even bury the dead properly. I mean, I understand that it was the enemy, but they were dead. Once you're dead, it's just a body. You should show respect to the dead. Those cowards. If ever I get a chance to lop off the head of that Jogrin, I will. I'll do it with great pleasure, I tell you.
Wow.
We will make the truth of what happened here known. They have paid. The village at least has paid in total. They have lost many lives.
The wise words of Hestava.
Don't be so harsh. Not all of us have been given your gifts.
And just that was a brilliant epilogue, Thud. I'll just ask one question. You did say when you first arrived at Fairfield that you would promote the village to other communities, so perhaps they could also live in Fairfield. Will you be doing that oath, or you damn them to live their own lives?
Yes.
No, Hestava will be doing the opposite. Hestava will be making it loudly known what happened at the village.
What about you, Thud? You said you were going to get other communities because you thought, how dare there be a human community?
So every orc that Thud meets, he'll tell them to go and live at Fairfield because they are very welcoming, and they're the kind of people that actually need more orcs.
Do they mention your name? Do they have to mention your name?
Yes, I'll just say, listen, tell Joe Green, he's the chief of the village, that Thud has sent you, and that you're here to sort of live amongst them and with them.
Oh, make sure he's true to his word. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And the way Thud keeps saying this with that mouth construction of his, Hestava keeps hearing the word Joe Green.
Yes. Every time, go, make sure you go and talk to Joe Green. You find him and you tell him that Thud sent you.
And in time, the barbarians become the new overlords of the humans in Fairfield. Forced labor camps emerges.
And as we ride, and as we go back, Hestava will try to persuade Thud to give the sword to the organization, since he's a two-handed guy, and I suspect Hestava's not supposed to use a sword.
Yeah. Oh, you can use weapons, but what would you like to do with that sword? Yeah, you can sell it. Or give it to the guild?
Exactly. We're supposed to be a member of an organization, right? So.
Yes. So, Hestava, I know you got hurt, so I will give this sword to you to give to the guild. I mean, I wasn't there when you got hurt, so Thud does feel a bit of a guilt that he was not there when you got hurt. You faced the foe alone. So, I'll give this sword to you. You do with it as you wish.
You pass on the sword to Hestava, and that'll probably lead nicely into Hestava's epilogue, including what you're going to do with the sword.
Well, we waited a little while before we left the village, before we left Fairfield, and she healed herself up. With the beard getting longer and the cloaks getting grayer. But as we then ride back towards the guild in order to collect what is due, the colours slowly return to her cloak. The beard slowly disappears. It's just a temporary artifact of her god's power moving through her.
That's nice.
And when we get there, she will present she'll present the sword to the guild as like a treasure that we recovered.
They say that we do welcome that, as you have just joined the guild. This is your first adventure, but please, I suggest you sell this on the market and use the gold for yourselves to equip yourselves, make you better off serving us as part of the guild. To be better in your pockets than ours. We only get the contracts for you.
Okay, well, she'll hold on to the sword for now then, and I guess she and Thud will rest up and wait for the next bunch of losers who need some help.
All right, so who is going to keep the sword? Because only one of you can have it on your sheet. That's all, in case you're not together the next.
I'll give it to Hestava.
Okay, Hestava, you can write down. You've got the one-handed. Well, you can copy it from Thud's, or Thud can paste it into yours. So I think you can share stuff across. I can't remember what I said it was called. The bronze. Oh, did you write it down, Thud? Or?
Yeah, I'll put it on Hestava's sheet.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. In the valuables, maybe. And then she can decide what to do with it. Oh, I see you've done that. Yep, you've got it in yours.
I can't paste it on hers.
Oh, okay. Just actually, I wonder if I can. Let me see.
I'll do it then. I'll do it. I can copy paste from yours.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Well, that's interesting. So you can only paste into your own sheet. Well, that's probably good. It's probably a good thing to have. All right. So having completed that, let me just do a little bit of a wrap up. So that concludes our adventure, the Rattling Wind, a successful one. For Hank's epilogue, he still approaches the guild to ask for his payment and asks Hestava and Thud, do they vouch for him to say that he was fully there, or does he only get a part payment but not?
No, Hestava is psychotically truthful, so okay. she will tell them exactly what happened and warn them that he's going to need some
counseling,
some reconditioning, so that he doesn't keep behaving like a bloody goblin.
Well, they say they will only give him his base pay, being a member of the guild, but perhaps with further adventures with Hestava and Thud, he will learn better ways to spread goodwill and truth, as it is the way of the guild to help those in need. And with that, we can only hope that that will occur. Thank you for watching, and thank you to my players, Fantastic, Hestava and Thud, and hopefully we will see you next time. See you later.
See ya.